All right, we're back. We're back. We're back.
Come shooting.
We're back. You know how it goes. Patterdale Talk Wednesday live. I am Patterdale Woods. We come here every Wednesday and talk Patterdale, anything Patterdale that you guys want to talk about. Um, yeah, we got on here a couple minutes late, but you know things happen. It's good. We're here though. We're here though. You know I got the bro Tim with me. I got Lil Tim with me. I see. What's up, man? How you
What's
doing?
up? Good?
You good?
Yeah.
You been doing? I see that pull-up bar up there. You been doing some pull-ups,
Yeah.
or that's just daddy's. You been doing
Me.
some?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Gotta make sure you do them pull-ups, man. It's better than the weight room. But yeah, we're talking Patterdale Terrier like we always do. Tim, I don't know if your screen went black. I don't know if you know that, but or maybe you went somewhere. But yeah, we'll see what's up. But yeah, we're talking Patterdale. One thing we want to talk about today. And I don't think we spoke about this before. And obviously, this is something that happens in the dog world, period, with all types of dogs. That's so crooked. So all types of dogs, but yeah, stillbirth. There's a couple people I know that recently. One of them, we still trying to figure that out, but I think that's happened. One of them, another person I know for sure, he just dealt with a stillbirth, and yeah. So is that some of you guys, and obviously we'll wait, not wait, but we'll talk about it, but they'll get some like we normally do, some more people will hop up in here, and get into these questions and stuff. But
I don't know why it kicked
yeah.
me off. Something just kicked me off.
Hey, it's all good, bro. You back. But I
That's the way back here.
Bradley, if you say I'd hop on, but I'm running dogs. Yeah, hey man. Listen, I wish
Hey,
I was running dogs. Don't get me
that's
wrong. I like
tight.
hopping on in here and
Who's that?
talking to the Patterdale family. But I wish I was out running dogs right now. That's Bradley
Oh,
Peterson.
okay.
Peterson. Yeah, yeah,
Right
yeah.
on.
He's out running dogs. But yeah, you're always welcome to hop on any time, bro. You already know. You just gotta hit me. Tell me to send you the link. You know I got you. But yeah, me and Tim was just talking about stillbirths and
And false
like again,
pregnancies.
huh?
And false pregnancies.
Yeah, false pregnancies, stillbirths and false pregnancies. That's what we was talking about more, the false pregnancies. And is that something that people have dealt with their Patterdales? Obviously, it's something that happens with all dogs. It could be genetics, it could be just the dog or whatever. But is that something that happens more common in the Patterdale world? Have any of you guys, um, someone like Bradley? I don't know who else is locked in with us right now. I see there's some people with us, but yes, post it in the comments. Um, is that anything you guys ever dealt with?
Hey, I gotta run and grab my midget real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You good, Bradley? We literally just had a female give birth to two pups. One came out dead, and the other is very healthy and happy. So in something like that, that normally means and I'm asking you, Bradley, from what I understand, that's that normally means there was two pups, one was stronger than the other, and it just beasted the other one for all the like the vitamins, the nutrients, the food or whatever in the sack, or is like, you know what I mean? Is that just is that just something that happens? And is that the first time it happened to you? But yeah, I think someone I don't want to say any names just because I don't know if he wants that type of business out there like that, but he just had a false pregnancy. And one thing that was, I guess it now that I look into it more, I've never, out of the dogs I've bred over the years, I never really had false pregnancies, so I never really and not too many people I know have had them. So I never really did too much research on it. And I did know that they could swell up and stuff, but I didn't realize that they would even sometimes have milk and it still be a false pregnancy. And I guess that makes sense too. It makes sense, but Yeah, is that something that you guys have seen in the Patterdale world? You know, is that something you have seen in the Patterdale world? Like false pregnancies happen a lot, or with a certain dog, or I don't know. I don't want to. I mean, put anyone out, but a certain bloodline, um, because I know it could also be genetics. No, I've had it happen more than I like, but I don't know why that happens or how to prevent it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I would maybe. I'm not sure if there's any way to prevent it. I would say what's crazy is I was gonna say um maybe the dog should just be like maybe the dog wasn't healthy enough, but then I've s- I've s- I've seen it happen to dogs where it's like these dogs like I couldn't see how they weren't healthy enough. You know what I mean? Like they get fed great. And I don't mean great like they get fed a lot. Like no, they get fed great food, raw, kibble, um vitamins, um you know, they get the everything that a dog's supposed to have to make it top notch, you know, bone, joint vitamins, all that stuff. They get all that, and yeah, the dog still had like a false pregnancy. So yeah, yeah, I don't know if it's I think it might be something maybe genetic or maybe just that dog. Because I mean, it happens. I mean, let's it happens with and not saying you know, humans or dogs or females or dogs or anything like that, but it happens with females. You know what I mean? You could have a family with 40 females and one of them just can't, you know, just can't have babies for whatever the reason might be or whatever the feeding reason might be. So yeah. What's good, Ron, Jaden, and Nutso? What's good, Jaden? Nutso. Was you out there? I see you just said you Jaden, you did a nice little three mile walk with Nutso. Is he he's recovering from a nice day of hunting, or you just getting him in shape, or getting him ready for the big dig. And if you were in here, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. But yeah, Jaden, what was you? I seen you posted that today. You did a you brought Nuts on a nice 3 mile walk, and I see he had a it looked like it looked like he been out hunting. So did he yeah? Has he been put up for a little while because he was healing and you getting him back in shape? Nutso's my guy. You know, well, so I love I pretty much love all Patterdales, but especially the working ones. But I know Nutso. Nutso's a good dog. He's definitely Nutso. But yeah, how's he doing, Jaden? How's he doing? That's kind of what we was what we were thinking. But we feed raw beaver and then the other small game that's good for them. Yeah, you know what I mean? And the dog I'm talking about is the same thing. They eat raw, all types of stuff, organs, beaver, muskrat, regular stuff, chicken. They get all the omega 3s. They get vegetables put in their bowl. Celery, carrots, blueberries, pumpkin. They get all that stuff. You know what I mean? As far as the all the dogs that this person owns. But yeah, the Patterdale seem to have a false birth. So yeah, Bradley, I don't know if it's you know how we do. We'd have to sit down and do some homework on it and see what's really what it's really about. But yeah, I don't know if it's something that you could prevent. I couldn't imagine that there was some way to prevent it and neither one of us knew about it, to be honest, or no one else in here. I would definitely think you would know about it if it was like you know, even like some home remedy or whatever. But yeah, we all know to have pups, you definitely got to have a healthy dog. But yeah, I think it maybe just you know what I mean. And then do dogs that Bradley, the dogs that you had that had false births, did they end up having a litter, or did they like end up keep every time you tried they had another false birth, or did you just stop trying with that dog after the first false birth? Because I would wonder how many dogs have a false birth and then actually end up having some good litters after that. You know, the first time you tried, they had a false birth, and then okay, you tried again, good litter, tried again, good litter, tried. So, how many has anyone witnessed that? A dog that had a false birth and then ended up having a litter or several litters after having a false birth, or is it more like they had a false birth and once they have a false birth, they're pretty much gonna keep doing that? Might just depend on the dog. Weird part is she had 4 pups the last time and they all lived till we ended up with COVID. The last 4 within a couple of days. We ended up with COVID last 4 within a couple of days. Okay. Yeah. Let me put up that up there so we can see where everybody is. Yeah. Now when you said they lived, Bradley, did they with it when they she had 4 pups, were they weak? Were they like 4 weak pups? And I get it, like, you know, with COVID, you lost them or whatever, you know, shit happens. But were they weak pups? Like, meaning, like, you know, you had puppies before. Did they look strong? Did they look real healthy? Seems like it's just hit or miss. Yeah, that's what it seems to me. That's what it seems to me. Like it's just hit or miss. 101, what's up? Shout out to you guys. Shout out to 101. Again, if you're locked in with us right now, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. You know, it's nothing. You know, it's free to do all that. It's free to do all that. It's just quick click, simple. 101 Kez says 101 Kennels says I've definitely had a female have a false pregnancy and then producer later down the road. Okay, then produce some pups later down the road. Okay. So and yeah, I know 101 has definitely did their things plenty of times when it comes to um excuse me, breeding the dog. So 101, I've had the same same thing with same thing with the Jack Russell. Same thing with the Jack Russell. What up, Bradley? Hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. A bitch can have a false pregnancy and later get pregnant, and well, has a lot to do with bitches' hormones. Yeah. No, always strong and healthy. Okay. So, you know, that just happened down the road. Now in a false a false pregnancy, did that tend to have um, you know, and obviously this is something you would know probably too, Tim, and anyone in here locked in with us. Does it happen more with younger dogs, older dogs, or
I,
it's just the dog?
well, from my study, just from like, because I just recently, I think I know, I know I kind of
Uh-huh.
messed up on my dates, right? So I'm kind of like behind. I didn't really keep up on the dates because she dug out of her kennel, um, and went over to this male. So I kind of didn't really know if they locked up or not. So I kind of just guesstimated after she like kind of went out of season. I was like, hold on, let me see, man. So I kind of like just been waiting for pups any day, but I realized that she might have had a false pregnancy because she kind of like gained some milk, and then all of a sudden she kind of dried up, and I'm like, so my boy, he told me, he said bring her out, and he'll take an X-ray of her just to make sure she ain't have nothing die inside of her, nothing didn't pass them. You know what I mean? Which
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she has. I don't think she has. She's never done that before. But they also said that it could be from stress. Go in there, because if not, it's gonna mess up the thing. Um,
Hell
I
yeah.
think
That's why when dogs, yeah. And I feel,
um
yeah, that I
I
think
think
that plays a
stress.
huge part.
I think because I have a bad tendency, man, of even if they're bred, I'll work them. You know what I mean, up to like pretty close to the time that they drop. But I didn't really work her this time, man. And every time I took her out, like took another dog out, she was always stressing out, like bouncing off the kennel, um, just really high strung. So my man thinks just because she came off, just a litter, it could have just been too much on her, like stress wise, you know what I mean? Her body just said, okay, reject it. I don't know. I don't know the whole
No, I
science
think I
behind it
think I
all.
think stress plays. I mean, again, I'm not trying to say humans are dogs are human, or a woman's a dog, but we all know if a woman stresses too much, she could lose a baby.
Yeah, and
I
listen,
could
man,
imagine
look,
that could be
it's
for any
absolutely.
animal in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What would make it any different? Why? Because we're humans. We're still part of a animal species. You know
You
what I
know, I
mean?
gotta, you know,
Yeah.
gotta
Nah.
make
Yeah.
sure you don't offend no
Absolutely.
one. But
But that's like, my man explained it to me because he's a vet. He explained it to me, the whole scientifical thing. And yeah, I jotted it down, and I've been researching it and this and that. But everything I come to, like everything that comes full circle, right? Even um in false pregnancy with cattle, horses, everything. Hey, it all came back to high stress levels.
yeah, yeah,
The animal wasn't in a comfortable environment. Maybe it had like, I kind of took it as maybe Yakko, right? Because Yakko is like, he's the only dog in my yard that just constantly barks. Like, man, he's like went through bark box collar. I mean, yo, he's been through bark collars. I can't get this dog to shut up. So I'm like, it's almost to the point where like he's ready to go. Like, yeah, so it's like, come on, dog, shut up. And so my boy said maybe because he was so, she's been so riled up with him, it kind of threw her off, you know what I mean? Because usually
yeah.
I house the females kind of away when they're pregnant, and this time I didn't. But I mean, there's a lot of guys that I spoke to about it, and there's guys out there that are like, man, yo, if you have a pup, you know what I mean, how much this and that. I just told him, I said, man, I don't sell dogs. Like, but if you're gonna hunt it, I'll gift you a dog because I really don't
Hmm.
want this. I really don't want this litter at all. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know. So and I even told them, and I was honest with them, like, hey, man, if she did have a false pregnancy, that's like, yo, it's better for me. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
if I
yeah,
do, you're gifted. If you don't, then
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what to tell you. But
yeah,
um, I don't know. I have a bad habit of wanting to keep them anyway. So
yeah. And then one thing I noticed, we said it before, is that in this game, like I could go out hunting with Sin right now. If she get banged up, I ain't hunting for the next 3 weeks, unless
right.
I just want to be reckless with my dog. But you know what I mean. But if you're
Well,
being
that's
a
like
responsible owner, it's
right,
shut down for the next 3-4 weeks, unless it's
right.
just something light. But if she get a nice little cut, a nice little work, she go to get some work done on her. You know
Well,
what I mean? You
that's like my man asked me the other night why I ain't been out, right? In a few, like, because it's probably been like, I really haven't been out in probably about 7 days, 6 days, right? And he was like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, And I just told him, I said, man, my rotation's messed up. Like I'm down 2 dogs. Like, so my rotation's out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and so now
You
it's
gotta
like
rotate them.
I gotta rotate. So now I gotta figure out, well, only dogs I can rotate, excuse me, rotate into are young, inexperienced dogs. So I guess I have been kind of like I
You want
I
to
let
give?
Mick heal. I let Mick heal up, right? Because he was probably he was pretty banged up, man. I was, I guess, that irresponsible dog owner, and took him out 3 nights straight, like let him get with the shit. But um, he was kind of banged up, and then like I was like, he's so fun to work, man, because he's so crazy. It's like, all right, come on, you want to go? And he's like, I could go out there and shine the light right now, right? I guarantee if I hit that back door, he's the first dog with the chain tight, like a damn puppy. And
Yeah.
it's like he's chewed up, and I'm like, you want to go hunt? And his little tail just gets to going. He's like starting to jump, and like, yo, I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. So I throw him in the box, and I'm like, man, I shouldn't be having him out here, man. He's busted up, like, but he doesn't act like it. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, that terrier, and once that adrenaline going, they don't feel it.
Nah, and it's like, yo, I can hunt him. I can hunt him, right? And as long as I take him home, though, get that cat some food and water and clean him up. The next day, he's ready to
He's
rock. He
all
doesn't.
set.
I don't know what it is, man. It's like he doesn't swell up. Like, I mean, not saying he doesn't, but most of the time,
Not
like he
not
doesn't. He
crazy.
doesn't. Yeah, and then the only time he really gives me a lot of problems, like you can tell he's a little sore, busted up, is when he takes chin damage, and that's when he'll be like, you can see the next day he's like, fuck. So I'm like, yeah, he took a lot of stick to the face, like, I better chill out with
Yeah,
him for a few days. But
yeah.
but I'm all right though. If Ginger don't have pups in the next day or two, um, then I'm just writing that
You
off
about
and
to
then
go.
put her back in rotation. She's got to hunt. Cause I like, but right now my seasons are over for like being out on the river. And you must have smoked some of that indica. That shit put you in the couch.
You're stupid.
So, um, like, cause right now rattlesnakes is starting to come out, right? And a couple of my boys at hog hunt said they've done got the dog struck a couple times. So I was like, for real? They're like, yeah, dog. Like these snakes is moving. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I can keep my ass up off that river for a little while. You know what I mean? So I'm back down to
Yeah.
just dairy work. I'm back down to just clearing nuisance critters on dairies. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So um, it's kind of fun. It's in between barn busting and groundwork. They just gotta use their head because if not, they're definitely not coming back from that trip.
Yeah.
Dairy's a different work. And I know a lot of guys probably think it's a joke, right? But I invited guys out and then they'll be like, oh, it's a dairy, this and that. I'm like, yeah. Then they get out there and they're like, hold up. Hey, bro, this is dangerous. Well, you're already in the swamp now, bro. You can't, you jumped in the boat. It's time to rock, cuz it's like we're out here. Like,
We ain't
and then
going back now.
nah, because I'm out here now. Like, this is what I do. So I've already
Uh-huh.
turned dogs loose. Shit's gonna
Uh-huh.
go. And then there's some nights, I can always tell when it's gonna be a really good night on the dairy. I mean, a really good night, right? I can pull up and it's just the way it sounds. Cats will be like, what are you doing? I'm like, yo, you just gotta be quiet. And if you don't like, if it's just a still, you know what I mean? Like there's no breeze, it's just still, just move on. Nothing's happening. Like that's dead dairy. Like it's nothing's happening. You go to the next one, you get out, it's a feeling. And even the dogs know, like, oh yeah, this is going to be bad. And Ginger, I just turned her out. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go with you.
Oh, I don't know. He cut out again. He'll hop back in with us. But we get to the comments real quick. Um, get to the comments in the chat real quick. Full bags and big gut is weird. I think it just depends on the dog. Yeah, me too. I think it depends on the dog, but I think stress definitely plays a big part. And now that I think about it, the dogs that I've heard that happen to, they probably was um around a lot of stress, dealing, a lot of stressful things going around them. Even if it's like,
I don't know why he keeps
kids
kicking
running
me out of here.
around. Yeah, I don't know, bro, but we get you back in every time. But yeah, we was just talking about. I was getting back to the comments, and Bradley was talking about how his dog had full bags, big gut, and everything, and it was still a false pregnancy. And
Yes, yes,
I think a lot
yes.
has to do with stress, though. I think stress is because
I
the
think it's a
dogs
big
that I think
factor.
about now that I was, and this is what I was about to say before you hop right back on, bro. The dogs I think about now that did have like that happen, whether we realized it then or later, they definitely wasn't like they definitely was around a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot of even if it's like kids. You know
Yeah,
what I
just
mean?
a lot of outside their normal element where they're calm,
Yeah, a
there's
lot
less,
of
a lot of
noise, a
movement.
lot of commotion going on, a lot of movement where it's like they need kind of like I'm in my own den feel.
Yeah, yeah, they got it. Yeah, like a woman, they start nesting.
Yeah,
They need to
yes.
have
And
that nest.
it gotta be comfortable. If it's a nest, say you got like a cage, boom, you can have them, they can feel comfortable or whatever, but if there's a whole bunch going on,
That's not
like,
comfortable.
yeah, exactly. If you got them in a cage just chilling in the room and there's not a lot, then they'll be comfortable. But you got them in a cage or in a room and
Which is a whole bunch of chaos going
yeah,
on,
and a
that's
whole bunch of
stress.
kids running around and commotion and whole bunch of people yelling and all this extra shit. Yeah, I could easily see
Exactly.
how that can
Yeah.
mess things up.
Well, that's like the other night, right? I had a real long conversation with a dude, and
Uh-huh.
he asked me a question, right? So I kind of answered him, but then I told him, I said, hold on, let me ask you a question before I answer that, right? Because um it was about like a super hard dog and then not be able to work them all the time because they get busted up so much. And what made me go to more of a hard mixer, right? And I
Yep.
was
Yep.
like, well, like one, every hard dog I've had, I end up losing them, like just losing them. You know what I mean? I end up getting them killed. And then
Or they get themselves killed just because, like you said, they're hard. They just go.
right, they
No
just
thinking.
yeah.
No technique. Nothing. Just go.
Well, I say I get them killed because um I say that, man, because yo, I put these dogs in some hard situations, bro. I like yo, the conversation was started out the other night of like what I like um what type of I like so what do I look for in a dog, right?
Uh huh.
And I just told him, I said, look, I look for a smart dog, a dog that I'm able to take different places, right? Since I travel so much and hunt with different guys and go different places and just hunt, um, like I need a dog that's able to adapt. I need a dog that has some brains. I need a dog that can think for itself.
Hmm.
Um, kind of like so like Spade was a good dog for that. Like he could adapt, right? And it was like he would adapt to the terrain as we hunted, and you could see him doing it. And he would always like it was crazy, man. I don't know. It was just I watch these dogs a lot, man. I'm with these dogs a lot. Um,
Hmm. Yep.
so when when guys ask me why I kind of have switched over, it's not that I've switched over. It's not that I don't like a hard dog. It's not that I don't want all hard dogs on my yard, right? But then if I have all hard dogs on my yard, I'm only gonna be able to hunt a little bit. Like I'm not gonna be out all as much as I am
Yeah,
now.
because hard dogs are gonna get themselves beat up.
Beat up, and I
You have
gotta
to
have
put
them in
them up
sick
for
bed.
weeks now. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
months.
Hmm.
Like you can't take a super hard dog and get it mangled hunt after hunt after hunt and think even though you doctored up the best you can that it's not going to get scar tissue or it's not going to have some type of real bad like okay like my dog Dyson for example,
Hmm.
right? Yo, man, his muzzle had been chewed off, right down to the sinus cavity. I don't know how many times. Okay. Well, the last time before I lost him, it had been done so much that it was all scar tissue. There was nothing nothing to sew back together, nothing to try to. No, it was all scar tissue. So it
And
opened up quick.
that was groundhog work.
No, that was from Fox.
Okay, Fox. Okay.
So if you see a dog from my like just here in the US, I don't know about over there. I don't hunt overseas. So here, when guys be like, when I see guys' dogs and they have a lot of top muzzle damage, right? I usually think that's a dog that works a lot of Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I see a
It's
dog with a
something
lot of
taller
damage,
that it's taller. It's something taller than
or the
biting
way they
down.
den, like they den, they go down and they shelf up.
Yeah, you're right.
So a
You're right.
dog has to come up.
Which is
So they're
going up and then
striking in. They're
down.
strike, you know what I mean? And they're striking. Bah. Once
Yep.
the dog
Yep.
comes up and over, they strike, you know what I mean? Or if a dog hits them, they strike, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, some of the guys that post, you know what I mean, that are over in Jersey and stuff like that, and the guys work a lot of Fox, the top of their dogs' muzzles are banged up, right? Now, groundhog and badger work, right? Because believe it or not, even though a groundhog and a badger aren't related, you know, badger's in the weasel family, and then groundhog's a fucking rodent, or yeah, I guess that's what they are. So they hunt, they defend themselves the same way. They get it down that hole, they back that ass up, they drop it. They either you push the dirt up to where the dog has to come through like a nice little opening where they're gonna bang them every time,
Yep.
and most of the time it's the side of their lips or their bottom jaw, right? So you know a dog's either been on a lot of badger or does a lot of earth work on groundhog. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So, you know, not saying Fox don't chew up other shit and don't say groundhogs and none of that stuff don't. Now then you got raccoon, they just tear a dog's ass up, you know, from top to bottom. Um
Yeah.
they usually
Raccoons.
just, you know, yeah, they're a different quarry.
I've seen raccoons not do too much damage though.
I mean, yeah,
Like I've
yeah. I
seen
mean,
raccoons that do a lot of damage. Then I've seen raccoons where it's just like, they just I don't
minimum.
know, they just wasn't feisty enough or some shit.
Right. Well, I mean, man, it's like I know it's funny, right? But we were explaining something one night. We was on the dairy, and my man said the same thing, right? Because one dairy we hit, yo, these raccoons were like with the shit. They were coming back, like they were actually coming out, jumping the dogs, trying to get the dog off the other raccoon, you know, that they were on.
Yeah.
So we would have to actually run up and get them off, like whack them with the shovels, you know what I mean, to get them off the dog. So you go to another dairy and it'd be a whole different scenario. Like the dog would get on one and all of a sudden they would all scatter and they would just leave that one, you know what I mean? Like, and then that one would just kind of just be like giving up no fight. It's just really trying to bolt, you know what I mean? It was like if it
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
chance, it's gone. Like it's not really there to
Then
fight,
there's
it's there to go.
the dog too, because you got some dogs that will grab it. Like so, I use and this is because I don't want to use anyone else's dog as an example all the time, so I
Right?
usually use
Yeah.
mine. Or like boom, but like
Yep.
my dog Sin, where right now she's more of a brawler. Like she doesn't go straight for the neck. So obviously a dog like her is gonna get more damage because she don't go straight for the neck first and get it dealt with. But at the end of the day, we know what we're doing. They grab, hold, we come through and end it. But
Right, right.
we're talking about if your dog goes in a den, just to make clear what we're talking about, Tim. If your dog goes in a den or something with a coon and it has to bang and you're digging to get to it. Why it's
Right.
in there is gonna get now when it comes to what we do. The job is the dog goes in, grabs hold, we get in there.
And
Either
dispatch.
if you're relocating the thing, you get it up out of there, put it in the box, relocate it.
We dispatch it.
If it's somewhere where if it's somewhere where you're getting rid of it because of whatever the reason, the farmers or the area, you just got to get rid of them. You get rid of them. But
Hey,
there
I
is
was
times when your dog be in the den fighting for 10, 15 an hour.
hey, check
it's
this
gonna
out.
come out with some damage. Now, a dog like mine is gonna get more damage than a dog like my brother's dog Petey, where Petey just goes straight for the throat. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
so if he's down in the den fighting with a coon, he's probably gonna end it a lot quicker just because his his main goal, even if he bites, here, he's gonna try to shake you and get it to you open up. And as soon as that neck opens up, he's switching up
He's
there.
on you, right?
Where
He's gonna
someone like my
shake you.
dog
He's gonna
Sin
shake
might
you
just
so hard. He's gonna shake you so hard you don't give no damage
and and then he's gonna go to the throat and
and
he'll end
finish
it.
it.
And
Yeah,
then we'll get down there and the coon's already
that's
dead.
how. Okay, so that's how cricket is.
Then my
Cricket's
dog
stupid
Sin,
hard.
she'll brawl. She'll grab whatever, and she might just shake that for the next 5 minutes while the
Well,
damn thing's biting her face.
see, okay, so that's that stupid hard shit. Just get in there and just get taking damage. You know what I mean? That's cricket. That's cricket all
But
day.
then I also
So,
seen her. Do the little. I don't. It's funny because I feel like when it comes to, now that I think about it and we're talking about it, I feel like when it comes to groundhog, maybe because it's face to face more, and I don't know, their teeth or something. But she tends to maybe do the shoulder a little bit more.
go.
You know,
Wow.
how we was talking about like
Wow.
how they'll turn their neck and give them the shoulder a little. She
So
tends to
so
maybe
what
do
she's
that a
doing
little
is
bit more with groundhog, but with coon, it seems like she just goes in.
well, does she do that? Does she do that above ground? She puts her shoulder out there like that, or she's doing that when you break through?
See, I don't see. All right, so from what I've seen, it also comes down to the point where too that groundhogs also have smaller holes to where you're like you're gonna be face to face.
You
Where
gotta know to let it
coons,
go.
yeah, coons, you could get a dog could get into their den where you could actually wrestle around a little. Where groundhogs, their holes a little bit so small that usually it's
Just a tube.
it's just a tube, and so it's just their face, and that's all you got to get to. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So that's probably why she's using the shoulder a little bit more, maybe there, and then she'll grab and hold, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Or is she
But
doing that? Or is she doing that to take the strike to get it? Is that her way of luring it?
so, I think so, because you're right. When it's above ground, she doesn't do that as much. She just goes, but then she can get to the whole body above ground. It's not like just a small hole face to
Right.
face. You know what I mean? Because in the
So
groundhog
when
holes,
I ask you that, when I say is she luring it, is
is
she
she is
going?
she is
Is
it
she
kind of like
engaging
a
it when she takes that strike? Right when she
mhm.
turns like that and she takes the strike, that animal is at its stretched point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it's
Does
kind
she
of like it's
does
kind of
she
like throwing a
understand? Is
fucking
so
strong right
she
hook and missing. Now
right?
you're open.
So now you're open. Is that what she does? So you're
Yeah, I
saying
think
when she takes the strike to the shoulder, she knows she has an open opportunity to strike.
exactly. And yeah, now that you're saying that, I think I think that's what like I'm noticing what she does more. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So Ginger
Uh-huh.
will do. She won't roll like that. What she'll do is she'll she'll pull back just a hair and then she'll re-engage as fast as possible. It's like she'll if she it's mostly her eye because she took damage near her eye. If
Yeah.
if something starts to get up near that eye, or she starts to take damage to that side, like up near the eye area, she'll kind of break away for a second, but just enough to like as soon as the animal strikes again, she'll back up and then she'll strike. But she only does it if she gets hit in the side of that face right there. But she's 7 years old, 6 years old, and has taken a lot of damage to that side of her face. So I don't know if it's scar tissue or what. Um, I don't know. But
She's experienced.
you know,
She's a little smarter.
I've never I've um I've never seen her stop because of it. You know what I mean? So until that day, I guess just let her do her thing. You know what I mean? That's her style.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's like me. It's like going to the gym and watching this young boy that's doing great work, right? And just because he doesn't do road work, I want him to change up his whole fight game. You
yeah.
know, like just because he doesn't do road work, don't mean that You know, Customato, if you ever really study his training and shit, he didn't believe in fucking road work. He didn't believe in jogging. You know what I mean? He believed in staying in the gym 24 hours a day. There was no reason to run the fuck around. Like, you want to run around, you do something else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. You gotta, I don't know. You gotta evaluate everything. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You gotta
If you
learn
don't
as you
evaluate
go.
this, so this dude asked me the other night, right? He says to me, he says, "Hey Tim, man," he was like, "So what made you switch over?" It's not that I switched over. It's not at all. I've evolved. You know what I mean? It's just I evolved. I've become a little smarter, um, and I see that um, it was pretty much he was there asking me why I didn't like a certain line of dog, and I was just like, it's not that I don't like them. It's that I got my own dogs. You know what I mean? I don't need to
Yeah,
switch
and
up.
then
I
and
got my
I
own
mean,
shit.
first of all, yeah, I got my own dogs, so I don't really
Yeah.
need to be whether I like them or not. I got my own dogs.
Own dogs, right?
I don't need
I
no
don't
other
need.
dogs. And
I
then
ain't need. I
if
don't
it's
need to
just
switch
something that
lanes.
dog does that I don't like, I mean, to each our
I,
own.
right, to each your own. Right,
I don't mean I
and I don't
hate
need to.
them dogs or hate the
Right,
person that breeds
and I
them or
don't.
nothing.
Yeah, and I don't need to switch lanes. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? I'm good where I'm at.
What works
Like
for you works for you. You know what I'm
works
saying? Sometimes you gotta
exactly.
stay with it. That don't
That's
mean
it.
you knocking anyone
No,
else's.
yo,
That
bro,
just
that's the bottom line. What you said.
yeah,
Everybody's got their own style and what they like.
yeah.
Okay, so
That's one thing people do too is they'll be like if I say, "Oh, um, I like Michael Jordan." That don't mean I don't like LeBron. I'm just
or I
talking
don't
about
like
Michael
Kobe.
Jordan right now.
Yeah, we just talking
You
about
know what
Michael
I mean? If
Jordan.
I like barbecue chicken, that don't mean I don't like buffalo. I'm just talking about barbecue right now. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. So, and I told him, I said, man, there's good and bad and everything, right? Well, then they kept going. And I said, okay, here, my question is to you this. He said, okay, before I get to that, he says, so let me ask you, how many of these guys have you seen go fly by night in these Patterdales? I said, my time, a lot. And I seen it when I used to breed rat terriers before I got into Patterdales. Okay. Guys would get into a breed and then they would, oh, I'm big, into this and I'm into that. And right, and they'll go all the way out. These motherfuckers will go buy top-notch equipment. They'll have 4 or 5 fucking locators sent from overseas. I mean, they're ready to break the fucking bank. They're gonna be this top-notch, wood-beaten, world-turning terrier man, all right? And then all of a sudden, they get out there and they're looking good and they boots is wet, right? And they on the river and bam, the shit goes down. You hear the grab, and all of a sudden you hear the screaming, and they're like, "What's that?" I was, "That's your fucking dog." They're like, "What?" I mean, "That's your dog." That motherfucker getting stick. Like that motherfucker's taking damage.
And you
They're
know what it
what?
is? They seen a bunch of YouTube videos where it was just the
They
dog
seen
winning every
short
time.
clips. They seen short
Yeah.
clips. So look, right? This is what gets me now. This is what gets me is when you look over. Oh boy, that confidence was high when you was marching that river until that shit hit, right? Then all of a
It
sudden,
was be
you
looking
see
like they're in
the
distress.
steps, the steps of stress. First it's what do you mean? What do you mean it's taking stick? Yeah, that means it's getting its ass kicked. Huh? Yeah, we gotta get to this motherfucker. Huh? What are we gonna do? I don't know. I thought, what do you mean what are we gonna do? We dig to this motherfucker. We gotta get to it. Then you get there, right? It's not a pretty sight. Shit's bad. They like, oh shit. Is my dog all right? Hell no, it ain't fucking all right. You see that
You
motherfucker?
see his nose?
You see, grab that coon's tail. Huh? Grab it. Yeah, we gotta get that motherfucker up off that dog. Like, yo, grab that other dog, get it close. Cause when this coon come out of this motherfucker, we need something on its ass. It's kicking
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
Boy, listen, when all that goes down,
That's
right?
why you gotta end that shit.
Listen, then you get their dog out though, right? Boy, that motherfucker, oh my God. I can't believe this. What would I do? This is your job now. This is where your job kick in.
First thing you
You
gotta
got
do
the
is clean everything off so you can really see. Cause there's
what
times where
is
I seen
damaged.
shit where it was like, yo, that dog's fucked up. Then you clean it off and it's like two
Not
little
bad at
cuts
all.
that just bled a lot.
I
You
bled
know
a
what I
lot.
mean?
Or then you got
Throw a little powder on there
and
and
get it done
it'd
and
be
move
good.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just send them on.
Then there's
But
shit
yo,
where it didn't look so bad, and then you throw some water on it and
and
some
it
meat's
falls
hanging.
apart. And it falls apart. Only thing was holding it together was mud. So it was like they're like, oh my God. Well, then the next time you talk to them, right? The rest of the trip, they're quiet as church mouses. They're like, man, I can't believe that yesterday. Well, I can. I believe it every time we go out, something bad's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
So look,
Hold on, real quick, bro. We're gonna get right back into it. Let's get to these comments real quick. So Bradley, you said he said he was out with the dog, so he got on a coon.
uh-huh.
Shout out to Steadfast, appreciate you coming through. There's a lot to it. A bitch can also absorb pups if stressed early in the pregnancy. There are several reasons why. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's
See,
what I
absorb.
think stress is probably the biggest one. And it could be stress like, just stress a lot around them if they stress if they had
If they're just a high
hard
strung dog,
fall. Yeah, high
if
strung
they're a high
dog,
strung dog.
if a nervous wreck type dog, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so he was saying he benefits
From
from
the
stress
stress.
too. Yeah.
Yep. I totally
Salute,
agree with
salute.
that.
Likes, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Yeah, Tim, I think it's a lot of that stress. So
Hey
okay,
yo,
back. Me and my brother Lou were just talking about IBM, Redman, and Tyrone. They're talking to you, right, Tim?
I don't know.
Hold up.
Who is that?
That's the bro, Anthro. Bro. Shout out to Anthro. He's always in here with us.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We might have missed that one, Anthro. If you're still in here with us, you're talking Chairs, Terriermen, and Bulldoggers. Like, subscribe, shit. Yeah, thank you, Anthro. Like I said, he's always in there showing love. Adopt might be the best trait to select and breed from. Adapt might be the best trait to select. Yeah. I mean, also the thing is in life, you're always trying to adapt to whatever you're doing and get better. You know what I mean?
What the hell? Yeah, that's like okay, like Ginger, right? She adapt like her sire did. You know what I mean? And um, all that whole litter did. Mike has the male, the brother out of that litter. He was the only male in that litter, and man, he's traveled the country with that dog. Like, and there's been times I've been like, man, I need to get him back, right? But he's one of them dogs that he's like a friend to this cat. You know what I mean? Like he's not only just a hunting partner, he's a friend. You know, he goes everywhere with
Mm-hmm.
him. And I'm like, man, you got kidding me, man. He's like, just come get him and breed him, but bring him right back. Don't hunt him. And I'm like, what? He was like, I know you, you'll lose him. And I'm like, oh, this dude. And he'd be like, I never told you about no other dogs, but you can't take him. And I'm like, are you serious? He'd be like, yeah, man, because you done lost the rest of the litter. He was like, man, don't do that. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna do that, man. I'm like, but as bad as I want to, I don't do it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I want to hunt him. You know what I mean? Like a little kid, I want to hunt him too.
And
I
that's
bred
what's
the
fun too. It's like
motherfucker.
a new dog that hunts, like a new toy, huh?
Yeah, well, I bred him. You know what I mean? I want to hunt him too. You know what I mean? Like, I like,
Yeah, I see
damn,
what
we're
you meant.
partners. You know, like you're my partner. You know what I mean? Like, damn, what? Okay, so I guess there's a dog that I'm gonna be able to say no, you can't take out one day or something. I'm not like that. Like, you
Uh-huh.
could call me up. This is my boy. You know what I mean? This is a cat that helped me start my yard. Never told me no about nothing, so I never tell him no, right? And then wait, like they gonna tell me that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? But then he laughed. He was like, you could come get him anytime. I'm like, yeah, but if I took him out hunting, you would have a shit fit. And he
Yeah.
was like, yeah. He was like, I'd rather you just breed him. And I was like, man, he's like a big old kid. He was like, you're a big ass kid. I was like, I know. Like, you told me no. I bred the motherfucker. Like, I like to hunt him too, Like,
Yeah.
but it's cool. It's like, yo, and I know what he's saying.
Yeah,
Like, yo,
once you give someone a dog, hey, it's
no,
their
it's that.
dog.
Well, this ain't really giving someone a dog. This is your partner. You understand what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
cat that you do dogs with. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
I'm down dogs, I call this motherfucker. Hey, bro, what do we got
Uh,
up there on that yard? We got
Yeah.
this, and this. What do you want? Well, this is what I need. Come grab it. And I just shoot
Yeah.
up there and grab it, box them up. Like,
You can push
okay,
it.
just for example, right?
Uh-huh.
A friend of mine called me up from up there, right? Was like, hey, bro, I know you're really not into this line, right? But this is where they come from, and I know you've worked behind a lot of that line. And I was like, oh yeah, I know what they, and I know where they come from. Like, I know they're good dogs. But I was like, what's the deal? And he was like, he had surgery, he had hip surgery, couldn't get him out. He was like,
Yep.
if they're no good, then you know what to do. He was like, but I promise you they're good. And I was like, oh no, I know that if this man says they're good, they're good. So I went and got them. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And they like, yo, I don't know how many times this little bitch has bit me, right? But she's so good, I've let her slide, right? And I'm like, all right, bitch. Like, if you weren't so good, I'd pop you. Cause that shit hurts. Like, you know, bit me a few times, man. I don't like that shit. So I'm like, but she's small, she's rowdy, she's completely the a picture perfect example of that line. And I'm like, wow, like I wish Curtis was there to see it. You know what I mean? Like just see that. Like I know he probably wouldn't. I really agree totally on like some of the things that was put into it, right? But it he would have to give credit where credit due because they really are good dogs. And the two males are just super fun, bro. They're like, man, yo, they know like it's time to work.
Oh, Jamie, hold on, what's this? So he said right here, Jamie Park. Good evening. Bottle feeding 2 German Shepherd puppies. So you got German Shepherds now, Jamie? Are
Oh,
those? Are
jeez.
you helping someone else? And 2 baby goats. Love that. Are you drinking the milk yourself too, Jamie? He said, "Love that milk." Are you having?
Yeah.
Are you indulging yourself, Jamie?
Hey, yo, I bet you he's talking about he had to wean some pups and he's got them on goat milk.
Yeah. It's definitely what he's talking about. I'm just
Hey, yo,
fucking
that
with
was funny.
him. That's definitely what he's talking about.
Yeah, fucking Park is
He got
crazy.
that goat milk in his beard.
Mm.
But salute. Oh, that's me. Salute. Yeah, salute to all. Salute to all. Okay. Anthro.
Comment was what?
Towards the comment was towards Mr. What's that? Bakery? Bakery? Not
Mr.
bakery.
Baker?
It says Bakery.
Oh,
Bakery. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but respect you for coming up in here and rocking with us, bro. Appreciate it.
hell
Tell a
yeah.
friend to tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe. Patterdale Talk Wednesdays.
Okay, so
Um,
here's a question for you.
Jamie Park, I think he's talking to you though, real quick. Yeah, Tim, he
What is
said the
that?
gentleman from New Mexico. That's Jamie talking to you. The gentleman from New Mexico? Is that who you was talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Mr. Park. Yeah, yep, that's who I'm talking about.
Okay. What was you gonna say though, Tim? You get back to what you was talking. I just wanted to
Okay,
get to
so
the
here's a question,
comments
right?
real quick.
Throughout this, I had a very very good conversation with a man the other night. It was a very long conversation, which I usually don't do too much. Yeah, take that in there, please. Oh, it's okay. So he asked me a question, right? And then I kind of came back with a question on my own, and I was like, okay, if a hard dog's the only thing you desire, are you more into the fight or you into the hunt? And they were like, good question. So what I meant by that was when I asked that, right? Of course, part of the hunting aspect is the dog engaging. Everybody that that's what attracts a lot of people. Okay. So
Yeah, a lot of
with
people
that,
don't like the walking around part and finding
no,
nothing for
they don't
hours.
like the other part. They don't like a dog. So okay, so I find I don't put this out there. I kind of call those people kind of convenient hunters. Their dog conveniently bumps into quarry, either in a trap or somewhere they seen it go, or or things of this nature. I don't know. They don't like to get out and go through the woods. They like to drive around. They like to spot set with binoculars, set
Or they like
check
to
and
trap
shit.
something,
Yeah,
bring the dogs
yeah,
out and open the
and
trap.
That, and I'm gonna tell you right now, hey, for guys that do that, right? That's not you're distressing. That is not the same type of test that you're gonna get
in the
that
ground.
what the animal not distressed and in its own environment.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And it's
so
not, and it defeats the purpose. You already got it
it,
trapped, so just relocate the shit.
relocate it.
And I mean, I
So
could now let's keep it now, Tim. You know, the one time where that that's where you want where if you got some pups, you might
no no
trap
no 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 no
something
no
and
no
let
no
them
no
go
no
out
no
the
no no
cage
no
and all that.
no no
I'm
no
just
no.
making,
When
you
I
know,
say that, yeah, no
we just talking and
training
making everything
for
clear.
pups
That's exactly what you do.
if you take and trap a coon and you want to see what your pup is going to do, right? If it's going to engage that cage or it's going to show interest or something, that's a whole different horse of a different
Yeah.
color. That's a
Yep.
horse of a different color.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm talking about guys that go out and do what I could call convenient hunts. And then you'll see, it's a perfect example. You see scenarios posted
So so
and you can see that there was no hunt on that. There was no hunt. You weren't out and there wasn't a hunt. You didn't dig that. You didn't find that in a
so when
tree
you say
den.
convenient hunters, I mean, or convenient, yeah, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, I call them convenient hunters. They
Convenient
only do
hunters.
it when it's
Do you
convenient.
mean, so obviously you, like you just said, you mean
They really
people that
only they're
trap
only
them
into
and
it
then
for
let
the
the
fight.
dogs out, even if it's
They're,
a 2, 3, 4-year-old dog, they trap them and let the dogs out and let
it's
them do
only
them.
for the fight.
Yeah, that's
They're
not
not
real
into
hunting.
the hunt.
You already trapped it. That's just you. That's
You're
now you're
just
just letting your dog scrap.
you just want to that's the only thing you're
Yeah,
into this. You're
you're just
not
letting your
into the
dog scrap.
sport. You're
Now,
not into the
do
sport.
you do you can, in your opinion, you know, again, this is Live Your Life Dogs. Everyone got their opinion. Respect everyone's
It's
opinion. You know
all
what I mean?
opinion. It's all
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. No opinion should offend no one else's opinion. You know what I'm
Anyone.
saying?
No,
But
because this isn't target. I don't talk to target anyone because if I'm gonna do that, I'll just say it.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Tim. We come here.
yeah.
We just talk dogs. It's all love.
We're just talking and just asking and learning from each other. So
Exactly.
okay, when I say
Now, when
that,
you
right?
hold on, let me ask you a question
Uh-huh.
real quick. When you
Good,
say that,
good.
you we the case now, do you feel that's the same way for people that and I would say no, and I would think you would say no too, but I'm gonna just ask you to make it clear. Do you feel that the same way about people who don't free cast? Like they walk with their dog and find the holes with their eyes and maybe with the dog too. Obviously with the dog too, because the dog's with them, but
Okay,
there's people that free cast and they let their dog fully use their
so
nose, find whatever they
okay,
find. Then there's people
there's
that walk a
traditional hunt.
mile with their dog on a leash, and when they find a hole, they'll let the dog in.
That's okay. So look, I joke with guys, right, to do this,
Uh
but
huh.
I call it glass and sets. They don't free cast. They're not so, and it could be for certain reasons, because I had to like have an open mind one day, right? Because I was conversating with a guy, and he's like, "Tim, you got a lot of open range that you can free cast, right?" So
Yep. That's true.
when he said that to me, I listened. I opened up a little bit, okay? And this is what I opened up to. He said, "Bro, this is why I don't free cast, right?" He said, "Because one, I'm hunting an area that is partial farmland, partial urban suburbia, right? So
Yep.
it's farmland that backs up to
To a
local
damn
public
main road.
housing and main roads, okay? So if
Yep.
he free casts, his dogs are more likely to one, enter private property or an open fucking roadway and get their asses run over, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
I said, okay, and I understood that, right? And so I asked him, I said, so is that why you kind of like, and where they hunt, you have to kind of hunt like that, because if not,
No,
like they
that makes
said,
perfect sense because we where I'm at, you know, I'm in the city and we have access to farms, but some of the farms that we're at,
are
we we
urbanized.
we, we they're urbanized, or like even one side of that farm is close to like a street where cars are moving. So
Right.
we got to walk a mile this way to make sure that we're a mile away from the street. You know
Right.
what I mean? And we're not gonna let the dogs off till we get a mile away from that. And that definitely plays a huge part. I mean, if you're somewhere where they could
Absolutely,
just
bro.
cross a line that's not that, especially a line where I don't know if you noticed, and it sucks, but since it got hot a little, people are out hunting a little bit more, and a couple of dogs have got shot.
So
I don't know if you've seen that on
Oklahoma,
Facebook. A couple of dogs, I've seen about 4 or 5 posts where people, and obviously some of them, there was 1 or 2 of them where it was like, okay, maybe the person couldn't see what it was, tell what it was. Then the other 3, it was just some ignorant motherfuckers who just got mad that the dog was on their property,
and
and
shot 'em.
because they have the right to do it, whatever law in that town, city, or state,
So
or whatever,
so
they
New
just get.
Mexico, it's illegal. If you shoot a hunting dog, right, that crosses onto your property and even remove its collar or anything, it's a felon.
Now, does
Now,
that hunting dog have to be thing though? Does that count for someone who's just out hunting with their dogs, or does that have to be hunting dogs that are like registered as hunting dogs? You know what I
well,
mean? Like if I'm just,
there's no hunting dog registry here. So
I
the
don't
way
know. I'm just asking, bro. You know
so
what I mean?
here's the only so
I'm in
here's what
Massachusetts. There's a million rules
here
out here.
here's what gives the right to the here to in New Mexico. Here's what gives right to the landowner to shoot the dog. If a hunting dog is crossing his property, right, in pursuit of game, they can't just pull out and crack a shot and kill that dog. Okay.
Yeah.
That dog has to be actually engaging their cattle or their livestock.
Okay. Gotta be
It
a
has to
threat.
be in the pursuit of harm.
It's something harming them
It has to be in
or
pursuit
losing.
of
Yeah.
harm to their
Yep.
livestock. It
Yep.
has to be, and it has to be documented. They can't just go crack that motherfucker and then fucking call the law and say it was attacking. No, they've got to video it. They got to call the law, and then they crack it or whatever they're going to do, and then call the law. But that law enforcement has to be, and then they're going to send what's out there. See out here, they're going to have that what do they call it? Cattle enforcement. The cow police, the cattle police.
So they got
Motherfuckers
a
be
whole
getting,
cattle police out there. Well, that makes sense where
yeah,
you're at.
yeah,
That
they
makes
got cattle police.
nah, where you're at, that makes perfect sense though.
Yeah, they
Makes,
got,
yeah.
yeah, that's all they do. Like and they're federal. Like they can go on anybody's land,
Yeah, because people be stealing people's cattle.
rustling.
Yeah, so
Hey, yo,
I'm
so
gonna
we're,
go I'm gonna go on there and check this cattle's marks close up for myself.
hey, and here, okay, so in
So I'm
Texas,
pretty
right?
sure out there people take very good pictures of all their cattle.
Well, you brand them. You have to brand them by law.
Yeah, you definitely brand them too.
So
Yep.
Texas is a no brand state. You don't have to brand in Texas, and that's why there's a lot of cattle rustling over there. Hey, pick that up. But here you have to it's mandate. It's mandate. Oh shit, you got the Patriots. Hey
But go
yo,
ahead. What was you saying, bro?
go ahead. Since you want to be smart, I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with that snowman, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna
Hey,
represent, but in a kind way.
hey, you see
Like,
what it
nah,
says? Joy. You know, we're just
I ain't
having
gonna.
fun on here.
I ain't gonna do the subliminal messages on nobody. I got that snow. Hey yo, let me stop my shit.
Nah,
Oh
man, it's
shit.
all fun and games,
So
man.
so yeah, it is. So my question. Okay, so back to the hunt to the fight, right? So my
Yep.
question was, okay, are you into the hunt or are you into the fight, right?
Yep.
And when I
Yep.
say that, I don't compare guys that hunt and the way they hunt, like I just said, and they kind of spot check with, I call it glass and sets. um I used to kind of be like, man, what the fuck are they talking shit about me for? Like they got the nerve, you know what I mean? But after I got cool with with some people, and then we started talking instead of trying to like belittle each other and talk shit, right? We then realized
Yeah.
we have a lot in common,
Actually listening to each other and not
and we
just trying
got to
to.
listen to each other,
Yeah.
and then I was like, wow, that okay, I see it from that point of view now. I never seen it from that point of view, you know what I mean? Because motherfucker, we kind of just kind of assault each other from the door and took it as like, and when it was really joking, but you can't really understand a lot of shit when you're texting or
Well,
messaging
that's
or
the
stuff like
problem with
that.
that's the problem, and that's a whole nother whole nother
Right.
But yeah,
So
when you're reading Texas, you don't know the energy, and if you
you don't
read
know
it
the
with an
energy.
attitude, you're gonna think they got attitude. If you read it,
Right.
yeah.
And it
Go
blows
ahead
up
though.
into some bullshit. So anyway,
Yep.
okay. So those guys, those type of hunters, right? The guys that are in those type of scenarios and in those type of areas that they have to hunt like that. Nah. You have to hunt the way you can hunt, without causing trouble for yourself.
And you gotta still be a responsible hunter.
Now, when I say are you into the hunt, are you into getting out there and evaluating that dog? Are you a guy that's going to put that dog out there as much as you possibly have free time? Like, okay, when I get off of work, my mind is straight up on hunting. Like, I want to work my dogs from the time I get. If I didn't have to work, fuck man, I probably would be. I'd have a
Hunting
lot
every
of
day.
dogs because I'd be gone all day.
Yeah.
Like, so now that I work for someone again, right? I don't have the freedom of just having that day I get up and being like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and push this job a couple days. I'm going hunting for this week. Or I'm gonna
Yep.
go, you know what I mean? I kind of have
Yep.
to schedule things in a normal life now. But um I'm out every night on the dairies, me and the boys, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
mean, even if it's just to scout, we're doing something. We're getting out there, you know what I mean? We're gonna figure it out. Um, every weekend. I don't care what I got going on. You best believe I'm be in that timber sometime throughout that weekend. So I keep these dogs out a lot. You know what I mean? I keep them out, and so when I say, "Are you into the hunt?" Are you into evaluate the dog? Are you looking for a certain trait? Are you going to evaluate that dog to the point where you say, "Hey, these are the traits I don't like. These are the traits I do like. This dog is worth having in my hunting rotation, but this dog isn't worth having in my breeding program."
Yeah.
Do you get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Does that
Yeah.
it's a
Yep.
it's a hunter, it's got this, and this, but it lacks what I'm looking for
And
in
I got it,
this.
so I'm gonna hunt it. But I'm not
Mean
gonna.
it
I
don't mean
don't.
it's worthy of breeding it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because not
Exactly.
every hunter, see, that's another thing. When I say are you into the hunt,
Up. He been getting cut off today, but he'll hop right back on. But again, we'll get to these comments while he's gone. Jamie Park, if you just locked in with us, Jamie Park was talking about some German shepherds. He's whelping earlier, but or a friend of yours is in the hospital and you're feeding the puppies. Well, it's true. Hell yeah, I do. Yeah, earlier I asked Jamie if he was drinking the goat milk himself too with the dogs. And yeah, I guess he is. He got that goat milk in his beard. Um, there goes Tim. What's
what
Anthro saying? Great question. Fight versus hunt. Primitive canine instinct is to go to the throat and finish. That's Anthro. Get to these real quick, and then I'll let you finish, Tim. Um, game dog. My question is: did Terriermen and game dog breeders breed away from that finishing instinct for harder dogs that enjoy fighting over primitive finishing instinct? Uh, I don't know. I don't know about
read
all
that one more
that.
time, bro. I can't really see it on my screen
Oh,
real
say
good.
he said my question is: did terrier I'm guessing it says terrier
Terriermen
number, but
and
terrier
game
men
dogs.
and game dog breeders breed away from that finishing instinct for harder dogs that enjoy fighting over primitive finishing instincts. I don't know.
I don't think anybody in the game dogs in the bulldog
Would do
world
that, yeah,
would do
but
that.
we
But
don't
so
we don't
for
indulge in that
terriermen,
world over here.
yeah,
We keep it
I
hunting over here,
yeah,
so
we
we ain't
just
gonna
hunt
get too
over
much
here.
into
But
that. But
um,
let me get these real quick. Outdoor
yeah,
Forever runs greyhounds on coyotes, and after chasing them down for good distance, their first instinct is to finish. Yeah, I
yes.
mean, yeah, it should. I mean, the whole thing is it should be. Even if where they're fighting for whatever they fight, you got two wolves fighting to be the alpha of the pack.
But
You know what I mean? One of them's gonna go for the throat sooner or later.
terriers weren't bred to finish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why if you realize, Tim, I always try to make that clear that these dogs are not. They're not made to grab a coon or do earthwork on a coon or badger or
Their
or
job is to
groundhog.
locate, enter, and engage and hold until dug. Okay,
Exactly.
and that
Locate,
means when
enter,
you get
engage, and
to
hold
them, when
into
you
their
get
partner.
to them, right?
Yep.
Your job
Unless you
takes
talk, go
over to
ahead.
dispatch the quarry.
Yep.
Okay, whatever that means is, or what different people have different meanology or whatever terminology, that is totally up to the handler after that how they dispatch. Okay,
And that's
now
why you're a team. Because it's not
yes,
supposed
you're
to
a
go down there
team,
and just fight for its life with something. It goes
right?
down there, holds it, you dig it out,
It did his job. The dog's
and
done his
move
job.
on.
Okay, now have we as terriermen, right, bred dogs for a more aggressive genetic? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because the old terriermen, right, that I talked to, the older guys that I have talked to and I've learned from, right, traditionally they hunt traditional wise. They're not down there to breed a dog that's going to get completely mashed, right? There's guys out there that do like to breed them like that, so then they can tone them down a little bit, right? But
A lot of bears.
a lot. Look at overseas. They have 60. They have like 50-pound fucking badgers. Okay, I talked to guys over there, and they're like, yeah, one like dogs that are super hard over here, um, don't make it, but like a season or maybe two, and then they're fucking finished. Well, a season. Well, how many times did you get that dog out during them seasons if it's banged up like that? Like, so they kind of start them
Well, that's why
early.
they got them 25-pound Patterdales out there.
Yeah, and they also start them early so they kind of beg. They're more hard mixers, some guys that I know over there, like, or they just want mixers, like, or bay dogs, completely bay dogs. And I mean, I'm like,
And then
what
a
the
lot of the
fuck?
time, yeah, some of them, yeah, I mean, they like the
I don't
Bay
know.
Dogs, but it's
But
the sets over there too. Cause like, see, some
yeah.
sets you could have a Bay Dog, like some of the sets where I go hunting, baying ain't gonna do shit. You just gonna know something's down there. You still gonna have
Well,
to
yeah.
dig.
You still,
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
the dog's
With
gonna, like, the
some of their
dog's got to
sets,
hold it.
what I realized, Badger, their sets are not like them. Their sets are not crazy deep.
So check this
They're
out.
big, and a Badger be right the hell there. Like they might be able to like aim a gun in there and shoot the shit after it bay.
So this dude asked me how I be getting on so many badgers, right? First of all, badgers where I'm at, either one take over and dig up prairie dog dens and make, like, dig, and then it's softer dirt because the prairie dogs have been out there tilling it up.
They bully the
Or
prairie dogs for them, or they
well,
bully them, or they just take them when they're empty.
nah, no, they'll go out there and dig. See, if you hunt at night and you want to hit badger at night, locate a prairie dog den, like a prairie dog colony, right? And then go out there and set up and just watch. And you'll more than likely catch a badger out there, you know what I mean? Like, probably within the first night you set up.
Okay.
But other than that, they're nomads. They fucking move constantly to look for the search of food. If you think you got a badger in your area, right? And um you don't have a real heavy food source and it's just there, it just bumps into your place, and like, I don't know, let's just say, I don't know, you got a rabbit cage or something like that, right? And
Yeah.
it gets in there and it kills your rabbits, and like you had 3, 4, 5 rabbits, whatever. It's gonna kill all those rabbits, take all their carcasses back to wherever it can den up for the night, right? And then just sit there and then just have that as like, they'll keep coming back there and then eating dead carcasses until they're all gone. You know what I mean? But they'll
Uh-huh.
move around looking for other food sources while they're doing that.
Well, that's all
But they'll
they
stay.
do.
Yeah,
All they
but they'll
do is
stay
hunt.
within a distance. That's all they do. They're programmed to kill constantly. But if you think you got one and you want to keep it there, right? It will stay there every night. It will come back and kill as much as it can, right? And until the whole food source is gone, completely eradicated. So we had one coming out the ranch, and my sister-in-law called up and was like, "It's a damn badger." Like, because at first they were totally against me getting out there with the dogs, getting it right. Because I said, "I'm telling you, it's a badger." So everybody's like, "Nah, nah, nah." Man, it killed like I don't know how many chickens one night. So I was like, "I'm telling you, it's a badger. There's no fucking weasels up here. Like, it's a badger," which is pretty much a weasel.
And those
But
are the only two things that just kill shit for no reason.
yeah,
They're not the only two, but
they just
badgers
program to
and
fucking
weasels just
kill,
kill shit. They just yeah.
They just kill.
People be
So
crazy too. Weasels look all nice and shit. Them shits are assassins. They
evil,
kill more than
evil.
badgers. That's all they
And
do.
damn right, damn right. So we had
Go
black-footed
ahead.
ferrets here, that native to this area.
The
You know, there's black-footed ferrets. So
and ferrets are just soft bats,
soft ferret or soft weasels.
soft weasels. Go ahead though.
So anyway, it's like okay. So we ended up having to foot trap it, and it ended up chewing its own foot off
To get off.
to get off. Yeah. So I told them, I said, "Man, look, it's a badger. I mean, it's damn paws right here." Like, so even with a chewed off foot, man, that thing came back the next night, and we ended up getting it. You know what I mean? And that's when I was breeding rat terriers. I ended up losing a couple dogs of that damn thing. Man, it was tearing my rat terriers up. So I just turned like a bunch of them loose on his ass, and ended up having to shoot him with the 22. So um they are rough. Like a badger's rough, but I'm telling you, man, coons is the ultimate thing for a terrier. You want to test a terrier? Put it on, get it on a coon in its natural environment.
More than a badger?
Man, I'm telling
I
you,
know
bro.
not. I'm not even gonna ask a fisher because we already know that. But
Oh,
more than a
fishes are
badger?
hard, bro. Look, man, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna say a badgers are weak or anything like that. A big male badger, he's gonna tear some shit up. But bro, yo, they're gonna bolt. They're gonna flight before they fight, right? The only way, like if they can get a head start in in that set and start digging away, man, they'll backfill a dog in a minute. But if a dog can like get a hold of them and hold them there, they're gonna yeah that badger's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I got videos of it. I know what it is. I know what it is. So I like guys that say, "Oh, this and all that," and then you ask them, "You ever been on Badger?" No. How you even know what they're doing? How you know what goes on? Okay, whatever. I just let it go. I don't even argue no more. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah.
out. Come out. My door's open. Hey, motherfuckers know they can call me and say, "Hey, I want to hunt." Okay. When you want to hunt, and what do you want to hunt? And I'll give you the dates if you want to come out. You know what I mean? You want to target where we gotta get out in the Badlands and really like do some hiking and drop dogs and we can do that, but let me know when you're ready to come out because snakes are moving during summertime. So we can definitely hit the fall right after September and we can get to cracking. You know what I mean? And then after that, if guys want to get out and just do nuisance critter control, I got plenty of dairies. Like, take you out there. I mean, we hit badgers on them too, but not as often.
Yeah.
You know, that's more, you're going to hit a lot of coons out there and then like I said, we hit badgers out there here and there. It depends on what dairy we're at and what location they're in. Um,
Okay, Jamie got a question real quick. Go ahead. I'll let you finish real quick, Tim.
no, you're good, bro.
Yeah. Um, do you believe there is a difference between a working dog and a sport hunting dog? The way they work? Yeah. I would say
Mister,
yeah.
so when you say sport hunting dog, Mr. Park, you're talking about like Labrador retrievers, um,
Coon
um,
dogs?
coon dogs, like dogs that don't engage. Because I mean, I know guys that do got hounds that they will engage, but
And
that's not.
I think what he means like, do you think there's a difference between working dogs and sporting hunting dogs? Yeah. I would
Oh,
say yeah, because
absolutely.
sporting hunting dogs are for the most part, when they're doing sport and hunting, the dogs are really not too much in harm's way. You know what I mean?
What?
Like
So
they're still in harm's way, but like
so what we so let me ask you
uh,
this before we
what's up?
say what classifies a sporting dog, right? To just a working dog. So, okay,
Yeah.
what classifies that? Because I know guys that
I mean,
that
obviously, if you're doing it for a if you're a dog who only does
is
it,
that a sport? Is that a
it
sport like
if
trials?
you're a dog,
Is a terrier trial a sport?
no. So say if you're, I would say if you're a dog who only does it, if you're a dog, if you're a person, a handler, and you and your dog only does it in competitions, then that's a sport hunting
That's
dog.
a sport, right?
If this you only doing it as your own, well, let me see. You're only doing it. You're only doing it as a sport. So you don't. So put it
As
like
a
this:
competition.
you only bring your dog out to competitions. So May 3rd is a competition. You bring your dog out.
That's a sporting dog.
No. So May 3rd is a competition. You bring your dog out. June is a competition. You bring your dog out for a competition. July, you bring your dog out for a competition. You know the months keep going. September, October, November. You each competition you only bring your dog out. But then
But
there's people
is
like
that a sporting dog?
I would say that's a sporting dog because
So a
you're only
working
bringing
dog.
them out for
So
competitions. Now
so
there's
working
someone like
dog.
you. Now there's
That's a
someone
working
like
dog.
you. There's someone like you where you're gonna go out. You go out 3-4 times a week with you and your kids. There's
That's
no
a working dog.
competition. That's a working dog.
So
Now,
what we do
now
is it a sport?
I would say they're bet. Now, what's crazy is technically they're both still working dogs.
Correct.
Technically, they're both still working dogs. But what Jamie's saying is that there's a difference between a dog that just works to work because
No,
that's what him and his
his
handler
job
do.
is. That's what his
Even if
job
even
is.
even if, so even if you so okay, like me, I hunt on the regular, but
Right.
then there's competitions like the Big Dig that I'm gonna enter the my dog in. So that day she's a sport
Sporting
hunting dog.
dog. She's a
Now I
sporting
might
dog.
hunt
But
with
she's in
her
a
meet.
sport, in
I
a
might go out
competition.
with Big the very next day and do some regular hunting. Right then she's just a hunting dog, a hunting
She's just a worker.
a worker. But then it's like, but technically they're both workers. So so maybe what this question comes down to is and there is a difference, is a hunting dog, a working dog, and a sport hunting dog. I'll wait till Tim gets back real quick. But y'all can hear what I'm saying. The people that are hearing with us, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Patterdale Talk Wednesdays live with Patterdale Woods and friends. And of course, we do interviews and special guests and all like that. We got we had Mink,
They're not hungry.
we had
You want me?
Robert Booth on here. We had a whole bunch of people on here,
Sorry.
But yeah, so right, maybe this question really comes down to, and I think we kind of broke down the answer, but it would really be three categories. You good? I don't want
Yeah,
to.
I'm good.
You good? It would really kind of be three. It would really be three categories, I would say, or not categories. Or the question would you would have to include another thing would be: do you believe there's a difference between hunting dogs, working dogs, and then sport hunting dogs? Because hunting dogs, working dogs, and sport hunting dogs are technically all working dogs.
Okay,
But
so check this out. So
then
check
there's
this out.
dogs, then there's people that just hunt their dogs and they don't enter no competitions. Those are just hunting dogs. If you
Okay, so
enter your
check
dog in
this
a
out.
competition, that's a sport hunting dog.
So check this out. So one of the dogs that was bred down from a litter that I bred went to LA County Sheriff LA County Sheriff Search and Rescue Team. right? So they sent me the pictures. They sent me a whole thing, right? Dog all suited and booted, jumping out of these helicopters, locating lost hikers, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? At first, I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know this what this dog was going to do. So at first, I was like, man, that was a waste of dog. But then I said to myself, was it? Or does that say that, yo, we're breeding a smarter dog that can adapt? That's what you've been looking for, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
In myself, I'm like, I'm looking for a dog that knows how to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how much more the fuck can I get a dog tested to adapt than somebody fucking dropping that little motherfucker out of a helicopter to go fucking search for
And
lost
that's
people
the
in the
and
woods?
that's the thing with working dog.
That's a
I was
working
just about to
dog,
say,
right?
no, the whole thing about working dog is though, see, that's why I said you gotta bring in the hunting dog without the sport.
Well,
Because when it comes to working dog, there's dogs right now that are at a junkyard and they're on guard. That dog's a working dog.
that's a working dog. He has a job.
He's not a sport hunting dog. He's not a hunting dog,
He's a
but he's a
working dog.
working dog. So any
Absolutely.
dog, you know what I'm saying? So even, and and that's the difference. Like, so again, you got people that just go hunt their dogs, right? They don't enter no competitions. That's
Uh,
that's a working dog and a hunting dog.
correct.
Then you got people that hunt their dogs and on a regular every other day like you do. But then when a competition comes up, they enter them in those two. That dog's all three. That dog's a hunting dog, a working dog, and a sport hunting dog.
Yeah, because he's in all he's in every
Exact,
aspect.
you know what I'm saying? Then you got people that they only hunt, they only put their dogs in competitions,
The
hunting
novelists.
competitions. So now that that dog's not a hunting dog. That dog's a working dog and a sport hunting dog. Sure, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're only
Yeah,
entering your
no.
dog,
I
if
mean,
you're only
here's
if you're only hunting your dog when you enter them in competitions or using your dog trials, whatever, when it comes to competitions, that's a sport hunting dog. And that's just, I mean, that's just that's just with everything. You know what I mean? Like
so
you,
would you call so you would just say a person that just attends terrier trials is a terrier trial person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now if he got terriers that he hunts at home too, he's a terrier child person and a terrier
Right.
hunter.
So there's many different classifications. You can
And that's the
classify a dog.
yeah. But
You
if
have to figure out
if
exactly
it's
what
either
they do.
you either in all three, you either
Or
in
you're
as far as the hunting dog, working dog, and the sport hunting dog, you either in all three. You
or one or the
or
other.
you're in the working dog, hunting dog, or you're in a spurting dog, hunting dog, or you're just a working dog.
Right.
Because if you're a dog that's just at the airport patrolling for someone who got something, you're a working dog.
You're a working dog.
You're definitely not a hunting dog, definitely not a sport hunting dog because you don't hunt. You work at the damn airport.
Right.
But you a working dog.
And
But
that's why I said like I
what
would
you got,
classify myself as a
what you
hunting
got, and
dogs.
we got is all three because we hunt our dogs on a regular, which obviously makes them a working dog, and we will enter them in a hunting competition, which
Correct.
now makes them a sport hunting dog. Because once you enter them in a competition, it's a sport now.
Yes. Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that question, Jamie Park. That was a good question, Jamie. I like that. I like that question. That's
Hell
a
yeah.
question I'm gonna have to bring to. I'm gonna have to talk about that question on the when I do the just the Friday night dog talk when we talking about any type of dog.
Anything.
You know, it
Anything.
could be a poodle with three tails. We gonna talk about it. You know,
Hey,
any Friday night dog talk. We talk about anything dogs. Period. Not this Wednesdays. It's aimed towards the Patterdale. Like, comment,
hey,
subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend.
if anyone before I forget this, man, I should have said this at the beginning of the show. if anyone is in Oklahoma, close to Oklahoma City, yo, Dave Walton has lost one of his dogs. He got that way, and he ain't been able to find him in 2 days, right? But he entered Earth. Like, he went in the ground, and he ain't no collar on. And he's been gone for 2 days, man. So he's like stressing. And I'm like, great. Because I can't replicate that. I can't even ever make that breeding again. So I'm like, great. You know, I lost the only one left. What the
It's a
fuck?
boy.
Yeah, he's a male.
All right, so we'll talk
So if
about that real
anybody's there,
quick.
you know what I mean? If anybody's out there and can give a hand looking for this dog, that'd be
One thing
tight. Contact Dave Walton.
okay, and for this very reason, if you have a male and if it's garbage, don't matter. If the dog's good and you think you want to do something with the dog later, the good thing about a male is that you can get the sperm froze up. To this day, I got a pipple that I had years ago. And I was, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I never did it. Next thing you know, he got cancer, he's sick, whatever. And to this day, I'm pissed.
That you
I
never
didn't
got.
do it.
You didn't
I
collect it.
didn't do it. So if you got a male dog that you like, don't wait.
Well, let me
Get
ask
him
you this:
froze up.
How long does frozen semen really stay good?
It lasts forever. You just gotta pay, like, depending on how many times you got it froze up. I know people that got their dog froze up twice. I know people that got their dog froze up 23 times, 25 times, just because they're just like whatever. But I think I think it might be like you gotta pay to get it
You got to
froze.
get it paid frozen, and then you got to pay to store it.
You gotta pay frozen, and then you gotta pay some type of shit yearly. I think it's like the
A yearly,
last person I talked to that did it, I think they told me it was like 170 a year or something. So 170, I don't know, every January 5th or 15th, they gotta pay 170 a year.
right? If not, then they just get rid of your samples.
Or
Right?
they give you, they're not gonna just drop. I think they give you like up to like a couple months, because you could have just something happened. You could have just been so busy where you missed it. So it's like, damn, I missed it Monday. You doing my shit Wednesday? I be done. Come down there, dude. Like, come on, yo.
Yeah, I invested in this shit for years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they give you a little time to because whatever,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
give you a little time, even if it's like a month or two, they give you a little time and I'm pretty sure they're gonna send you, and I'm pretty sure even before it comes up, they send you plenty of emails. Like, if your shit's
So
not on auto.
when you use frozen semen, right?
Yeah.
And I could call my boy about this, right? I just don't. He always tells me, man.
Hey, listen, bro, a lot of this stuff you might be able to Google, but we here to talk about it with each other. That's the whole point, bro. What's up?
So with frozen semen, right? When you do that, they send you and you request your semen. What do they send it to the vet of your choice, or they send it directly to you?
When you request it, I think.
So say if I have frozen semen, right? Okay, I have frozen semen.
If I'm not if I'm not mistaken, you could, if it's somewhere like close, you could go pick it up. If you want it sent somewhere, you could get it sent somewhere. It's just they just put in it's probably like,
I know people that do frozen semen AI with horses. So what they do is they take the horse, they take it to the vet, they house it, they temperature it at the right moment, they inject it. You know what I mean? They do all the insemination and all that shit.
See, I know.
I mean, it's like a whole fucking like procedure.
See, I don't know if horses is a little harder, because I know a lot of people who do that as far as the dogs, especially in like the Frenchie world.
There's like the
And
whole
we
fucking
just Patterdale talk here, but I got a couple cousins that are in the Frenchie world, and
do they set in AI them?
They like do it themselves. They like got the whole little
with a syringe
kit. Yeah, it's like a big syringe that you stick in there, and they like do it themselves. So I don't know if it's like really like they get it. Get it.
I've seen guys inject them and then hold them upside down and all this other shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you got to do all that.
That's dumb. Oh, I'm gonna get it.
Like,
I don't know.
I'm like, hold up, that don't seem right to me. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
So
that's just
like
people just think, just
I don't
you
know
know,
what they think. I don't know.
yeah.
But
But
it's like, okay,
from what I understand, yeah, you could get it sent anywhere. You know what I mean? You could get it sent anywhere. It's just you probably you know they're gonna make you pay for that packaging and that or that extra packaging too, depending on where it's going because it got to stay at a certain temperature.
like it's like sometimes I just think like like do you get the same results out of frozen semen as you do like live, like when the dog's alive? Like, do you get the same genetics?
I mean, you get the same genetics because it's from the semen. Is the semen is healthy? It's probably not.
That I guess that's would be a better way to say, is the semen
Yeah, yeah, I
healthy?
know what you. I mean, you know what I know what you meant. I think I would say it's probably not as healthy, but I don't think it's
So
obviously it works,
so
and
when
it's
you say
even if it's like okay, if even as far as health, you got a healthy male and they lock up. That might be like 99% healthy sperm going into it. The frozen might drop it down to like 90% or something.
so you'll say your semen, so
It's
when they
still
unfreeze
strong
it,
because it works. And most
so when
people
it
do it to make sure. A lot of the people in the Frenchie world and a lot of people with other dogs, it seems like they do that to make sure more than they do with like it seems like some people believe in that more than actually letting them lock up, bro.
oh, okay, okay.
You know what I mean? Like some people do that instead of just even wasting their time letting them locking up. I mean,
Well,
letting them lock up.
I know over here at my boy at the vet that my boy works at, when they do in AI, they actually are on a computer screen and they got this like needle thing that goes and actually injects the semen into that egg, so they know that that
That's
semen went
yeah.
into
See,
that
that's
egg.
that that's the $8,000 joint. But they got the home kit where they stick the tube in there. But a
And
lot of
just
these
inject it
guys, it's yeah, because I think it's because they got a big tube and they're making sure that all of it gets in there,
in there all the way up, all
all the
everybody.
way up in there, or all the way in there. So I think a lot of them um rely on it more. But at the end of the day, the main thing is if you got a dog that say okay, you got a female, you want to breed her with your male, but your male's old. Your female hasn't went in heat yet. He's now he again okay. Now he got cancer. He got 2 months to go unless you want to pay 5,000 a month. You know how that goes to keep
Right.
him alive. And then, but then he's so old and beat up anyway. He probably won't even be able to mount her and really do his thing. So once he's gone, you got the semen. See, people are using it while the dogs are still here, which makes sense if you're like overseas or something. You know what I mean? You gotta okay, your boys in New Mexico got a nice meal that I love for my dog Sin, but
That's
I
different.
can't.
You
I'm
can
not.
ship and you can
Why
ship
take
it.
that flight when we could just ship it for 200? You know what I mean?
Right. I understand that.
So
Yep.
that's what it's
I
really
understand that.
for. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
again, your dog dies. Now 6 months later, the female that you wanted to breed to him is in heat, but he's gone. Well,
You got the
I
semen.
got the semen. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
but what happened is when people always get out of control breeding. So now the semen thing's a huge thing. But yeah, the healthiest way I would say would still probably be, and to have the healthiest would still probably be as far as that. I mean, not that as far as the healthiest sperm would still probably be to let them lock up. But
Right.
I think because the way they're able to send that small ass tube all the way in there and
Get you better percentages.
pump a whole fucking bunch in there, and then they'll leave the tube in there for a little while longer to where when they pull that shit out, no weird shit. When
It's
they
in there. Yeah.
it's all in there. When dogs lock up and they unlock, no weird shit.
It
We all
shoots
dog.
out.
A lot of it drops out.
Yes.
Where with them AIs, a drop ain't dropping out.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing.
I
You
don't even know
getting
if
it
it's called an
all.
AI, but whatever it's
Right.
called. That with them,
Artificial insemination.
Yeah, with the artificial insemination, it is AI. The
Yeah,
artificial insemination, they yeah, that I don't they got the tube this big,
big long ass tubes.
7,000 babies, not one drops out.
Yeah, you
So I
getting
think
puppies.
you
Yeah, you got
know what I
puppies
mean?
there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh
So I
yeah.
think that's why a lot of them use that because it's kind of like almost more guaranteed because hey, you ain't missing a drop. Not to be weird, you know what I mean? But you ain't
No,
missing a
yeah,
drop, you know what I
absolutely,
mean? So
absolutely.
I think that's
That's
why a
like,
lot of them do that.
yeah, I know guys that do it in bulldogs. Shit, I know. I mean, it seems like, yo, I mean, it's a big thing,
You
but
see what Anthos talking about? Has Tim
no,
seen any ringtails in New Mexico?
ringtail, what? Those
I think
lemurs,
he's talking.
ringtail lemurs. That
Yeah,
sound like that's the only thing I know about.
I think he's talking lemurs or is there ringtail? What was he talking about? Any the little
I know you. I
tough
got
ferret,
black-footed ferrets. I don't know about
the
ringtails.
weasels.
Oh,
Is there
ringtail weasels?
ringtail weasels?
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure,
I've never
but
seen them.
Anthor, what you talking about, bro? Adaption, night search and rescue. Bitches in heat might help you track an intact male.
Yeah, he has been. He
Okay,
has been out there with a little female yard that they got housed with him. Like he says, her boyfriend, girlfriend. So he said that dog is like
nice.
all over the place and can't find him. I just hope he hasn't lost him.
The whole thing about that is like
That's
it's
a fucking
crazy because
irresponsibility.
no, it's not that, but I mean, for these
No, I'm
Patterdales,
fucking
you
with you.
know, if they get out, they're gonna work. So I
Oh,
mean,
he's a worker.
by this, and I don't want to sound negative. I hope he gets his dog back. But 2 days later, shit, that dog could have entered 10 different holes if he didn't die in one.
Yeah, exactly. Or dehydrated, went into hypothermia because it drops at night. He could be in a stuck situation where he's like fucking asphyxiated because he got into a tight situation. Like
And
there's
they'll
there's
fight, they'll fight.
there's a
They'll
hundred different scenarios.
them motherfuckers will get out a hole, go on, say if they just go in a hole, fight something for half an hour, get banged up, back out the
No,
hole after they kill it. They're just gonna
dogs.
go in the next hole.
They're just gonna keep hunting.
It's gonna keep going to a hole till they just can't go no more. And if
Here's
you
the
ain't there to stop,
here's what I told him. Here's one of the worst case scenarios. He's one of them dogs that he'll get vocal if he can't get to something. Okay.
okay,
If he
yeah,
can reach the quarry, he's
he
not
go.
vocal. He
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Okay. The worst
Like
case
most
scenario is,
Patterdales, right? That's something else we could talk about too. But
yeah,
later on,
yeah.
that till
So,
next week. But
but with him, with a dog like that that gets out right, and you don't know really pin precise precision where he's at, right? Like he has no locator, he has nothing. You don't know what kind of set he entered. You don't even know where the fuck he disappeared at. You said you seen him in a field one minute, and the next thing he's gone. Like with a situation like that, now you got to figure out where he's at, and if he's not vocal, right, that's gonna be a hell of a thing. Now you got to listen for the fight or the shake of the ground when you walk past or something. Man, that could be he could be anywhere.
and that's a little dog. It ain't like he's rattling
Yeah.
the earth. Let's keep, you know
Not
what I
yet.
mean?
So, like I told him, worst case scenario is that he got down the ground, right? He got to battling with something, and then all of a sudden he comes out and the coyotes got a hold of his ass. That's depending on what he got into and
And that's
how.
another thing that comes in. Remember, we was talking about
Or he
free
went down
casting.
and see.
That's
Here's
the
another
danger.
thing.
Another danger about free casting. If you're somewhere
What
a
if
nice
he
sized
located?
fox or
Like I
coyote,
told
you
him,
don't want to
what if
free
he?
cast either. But go ahead, Tim.
But what if he located then, right? And he shoots down in there, right? And he does enter a coyote den. That does happen, you know. He's
Yeah,
not
cause
going to make it out of there. I'll tell you that right now.
huh?
He's not going to make it out of there. I don't care how badass he is.
No, ain't no Patterdale making it around one coyote. Never mind a den.
Nah, he's not. Like I told
They
him, I
might be
said,
big
man,
enough pup. There might be 6 pups big enough in there to take him on. You go
they're
into
gonna
a
take him
den.
on. They're gonna
Yeah,
chew
you
him
go
up.
into a den.
They're gonna stretch him. You know what I mean? So, like I
You with
told him,
some
man,
men
just
to your
hopefully,
den.
hopefully, he's gotten a hold of a coon, right? And he's up in a tree den somewhere, and you'll just get him back. You know, and he'll just as fast as he disappeared, he'll show up. If not,
It
who
is what it is.
knows? It is
And
what it
bro,
is.
let's get into these comments real quick, bro.
Yep.
Depending on the collection, practices, tragedies, storage, and application, frozen semen should last forever in theory. Yeah, it should last
Okay.
forever as long as they're freezing it the right way. You just gotta pay. You know what
You
I
just
mean? You
gotta pay
gotta
to
pay.
keep it frozen right.
Exactly. So serious. What up, bro? What's up, fellas? Have a question. Might be silly. Nah, there ain't no silly
Nah, I know
questions
silly
on here.
questions.
Not at all. But have either of you ever been hunting and your dog found a groundhog hole under a house or garage? Found a groundhog hole under a house or garage before? If so, how do you go about getting it?
Okay. So that question is yes, and that is not something you want to have to get into. Oh man. So yeah, I've been on coons, they've been under houses, I've been at groundhogs, it's been under foundations. Man, yo, there was times that we've had to rip out floors to get to the dogs. It becomes a mess with a foundation. Like you want to stay away from that type of shit. And there is always when shit happens,
Especially
you
if
got
it's
to
concrete.
fuck yeah. And then if you got a trench, like open it up to find out which way the tube went because it's a concrete like slab and they went underneath of it and you can't bust through it or you can't get a read, right? Oh man, that's hell, man. Cause more than likely the damn thing done went down 3 feet, right? Cause of permafrost, cause that's how fucking deep the damn footer is. So that's where it went. You know what I mean? So now you gotta go down at least 3 foot, open it up so you can get down in there and see which way you gotta go. And then you gotta, man, holy shit, that's horrible.
Yeah. There's a
I don't like that.
there's this
Hey,
one groundhog when I go to NY, he's on that thing. He as soon as we pull up to the field where where we one of the fields where we go hunting, sometimes you see him. And as soon as he, sees the cars or hears or whatever, he runs right under this big old basically like a barn. Basically
mhm.
like a 2026 barn. You know what I mean? A nice
With a
barn.
slab, with a nice slab and all that
Nice
shit
slab of
sitting.
concrete, and as soon as he hears you coming, he
He's
goes
going.
right under that motherfucker. And
He
this
knows he's
this
safe.
he gotta be the goddamn big fattest groundhog out there in New York where we go hunting. He gotta be the biggest groundhog, but he knows.
He's
He go
smart.
wherever he's at, right when he goes out, there's food everywhere, and he knows for some reason no one comes over here to mess with me. And
Yeah, I just
it
stay
ain't
right
shit,
here.
you keep your dog away from there because you don't want to go up under there. It's
Right,
concrete.
right.
You have to break up a whole bunch of concrete that the owner of the winery or the owner of the farm is um probably not gonna be too happy. You know what I mean? So that
Oh
that
shit.
groundhog's living good because
I
he
bet.
knows he just dives under there.
That's crazy, dog.
And like you said earlier about the free casting, that's one thing. I like where I'm at too. I'm in the city where in Massachusetts there's a whole bunch of rocks. So a lot of
Mm.
these groundhog holes are between boulders and under boulders and shit where you don't want your dog
Hmm.
just sweeping up under there
Yeah,
quick.
you want to be able to evaluate the situation before you go sending them in there.
Mhm.
I'm a little like, okay, so I used to go hunt with Curtis, right? And
Yep.
there was this one spot he liked to go. I used to hate it, right? But I'd never say nothing to him because I'd be like, all right, this is one of his favorite spots. But like, yo, it was called the train
That's
car, right?
crazy. That's everywhere. What up though?
And it was an old box car, right? And it had been set out there, and the rancher used to put like feed and all that shit in there. So over time, it's kind of sank down to where it's just like the wheels and the frame of it had went down the ground, right? But on each end of it, there was like tunnels where these coons would be going in and out of. So
Yep.
Curtis loved going there. The only thing is, you had to have a draw dog because if they didn't draw it out, right, you'd be stuck there for hours, bro.
Waiting
I'm
for your
talking
dog to
about.
come out.
Yes, or you'd like, yo, one time it was bad, dog. I mean, bad. And the coons had got up in cross members. And Curtis was like, they got Ginger, and Ginger's head got stuck in between this little square where like the brake system was, and her locator got trapped in between like these two pressure lines. So the coon was just chewing her nose up, man. And man, I could see the fight going on, and I could just take a stick, right, about a 1-inch sapling, and poke down through there and try to poke it to try to get it to get off her nose. So, um, next thing I know, Curtis is like his dog was taking a bunch of damage too because these coons had them to where they had to come in these metal skirtings that was underneath there just
Okay.
right, and they would just hit them. So finally, I found, yo, I dug for 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours until I got down to where I could get in there, right? And then Ginger was so chewed up, man, she was exhausted. And she had like kind of like collapsed a little bit. So she would fight a little bit and then she would collapse. And then finally the coon realized it and bolted down like farther down and tried to come out. But we had so many dogs with us, we just turned them all out, right? So none of the coons could get away. But Curtis was like, and I was worried I was gonna lose her. So finally, I got down in there, and somehow or another, man, by the grace of God, I got one hand in there with a pair of medical scissors, and got in between her neck and the collar, and I snipped it, and it came off, and it just gave me enough play in between her throat and
To
the
get her loose.
pressure line, man, I didn't fucking get her loose. I ripped her fucking ass out of there. Man, my adrenaline was pumping so fast, man, I wanted her ass out of there. And I was like, yo, I ripped her ass out of there and fucking I got her. Well, she's alive, you see. But I had to reach back up in there and get my damn locator. And the whole time I was thinking in my head, this fucking raccoon's gonna bite the fucking shit out of me, man. It's gonna hurt. But luckily it took off. And man, Curtis, man, we had to say, I think we fucking ended up fucking just camping out in the truck for a few hours until all the dogs killed them coons. And what dogs didn't drag them out, they finally came out from chewing on them. Then I hated going there.
Yeah,
I
and
fucking hated that there.
that's one thing that again, you know me, I'm always like, I'm not no big expert or nothing, but that's one thing I want to say when it comes to this hunting is if I would say three things that when your dog goes in the ground is is don't panic. Because
Don't panic.
if you panic, it's not gonna help. You're gonna start doing extra shit that that
Unnecessary
yeah,
shit.
you're gonna start doing extra shit. Oh, my dog's here, my dog's there, it's not there. So I would say number one is don't panic. And this is for everyone who's getting into it. And again, I'm not no expert. This is just my vibe and my experience and what I have done to like in any aspect though. If you're driving and someone cuts you off, you don't want to panic. You're probably not gonna brake right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You any aspect, anything in like I'm a coach. I tell kids, you know what I'm saying? I understand. It's fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. We're down by 6. Get focused. Don't panic. You panic, you're gonna turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Get focused. You know what I'm saying? So number one is I would say don't panic. Number two is don't stand around talking with everyone and this he might be there. Da, 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 da. Get to it and figure it out
Yo,
and
I used to
pick up a
get
shovel and dig. Don't sit there and talk. Pick up a shovel and dig. Get to work. Cause I've been in that position where it's like, hey, like we talking too much. We talking
I
too
get
much.
excited.
Let's
I get
not even
excited.
like excitement, just too much like,
Like
oh,
not adrenaline.
he went in this way and
Yeah.
they went in
No.
this way and
You gotta
so let's
control
stay no
yourself.
yeah, let's whatever way, whatever. If we got a Trent, if you got a Trent, if you got a follow, whatever, get to work, get to digging.
Get to
Don't sit
work. Get
there.
to work.
Yeah, get to work. And number 3 is actually I shouldn't even put these in order because they're all really just at the same time, really, but trust the tracker. I've been in positions where dudes like, well, I seen him enter here and there's a hole there and it curved this way, so he gotta be over here. And then but the track is showing, so he gotta be over here, but the track to 4 feet to the left. But when you show the tracker and you get 4 feet to the left, it shows 6.0. Then you go straight and it's showing 3.0. But
Right.
because to you that
It made that
hole,
left turn.
he made
It
that
made
left
another
turn,
turn somewhere else.
you think, oh, not realizing that exactly that left turn might juke right to a right soon as it goes left. You know what I mean? You just can't see that.
Just
So
can't see
because
it.
that you're like, no, he's over here. Oh, I hear him barking. And because you think he's over here, you think that you hear more barking over here when it's like, no, trust the tracker. The tracker's showing 6 over here. Up, you go 4 feet straight. It's showing 3. Your dog's there.
Somewhere right in there.
Your dog's there. I understand the hole looks like it's going in left, but trust that tracker, man. Trust the
Get on your,
tracker.
if you're
They're
gonna use
made
your
to catch
locator.
people in avalanches, to catch humans.
Yes.
They're not just some, you know what I mean? So
Mm-mm.
trust that peeps. One of us gotta
Yeah.
get that peep sponsor.
Yeah, I know, right?
I live in a
Yeah.
city 15 minutes outside of Detroit called Inkster. Our city is overrun by damn, where you at? Groundhogs. We have a lot of wooded area, but we also have a lot of groundhogs under foundations.
Mm.
So serious. Okay, you in Detroit? Patterdale family. We might have to take a trip to Detroit. They said they're overrun with them. That would be our dogs.
Yeah, y'all got small
Glory.
enough dogs. Yeah.
So Patterdale Terrier family. We might have to take
Marshall,
a trip
all
to
y'all better
Detroit.
suit and boot and get up there.
Yeah, we might have to take a trip to Detroit if they're overrun with them.
How far y'all from Detroit?
Um,
That's Michigan, right?
yeah, we I think we like 12 hours.
Oh, that ain't bad. Couple guys driving, you be there in a day. That's how we do it. We gonna
So
head out.
yeah, but not okay. It's like 11 hours.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, that ain't even. Yeah, that's not a lot at all. I done drove
Yeah, we gonna
farther
shoot
than
out to
that too.
Oregon.
Yeah, I done drove farther than that a couple times on some family events. I done drove farther than that to pick up a dog.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot out to
Yeah.
Oregon.
So who's that? Who said that?
Mm.
So serious. Yeah, hit me up, man. Um, actually, email me, bro. So serious P89. Email me. Email me at liveyourlifedogs at gmail.com. Cause I would
Hey,
like to see how overrun you are and maybe come out there with a team or a couple of dogs and get to work. Cause you
hell
talking about
yeah,
you
have some
overrun
fun.
with groundhogs. That sounds great to me. That's what we want to hear over
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
So
groundhogs is fun to hunt.
yeah. So
I miss working G hogs. They're shit.
yeah, that's what I got my girl Sin. That's what she basically does right now. She only about 10 and a half. So but I do free cast, but I do be letting her in brush piles and shit.
So how far are you from Marshall?
Marshall, me
Yeah.
and Marshall are both in Massachusetts. Marshall's about an hour from me.
Yo, I'm telling you right now. Listen, you need to get with Marshall, right?
Oh yeah, that's the bro.
Y'all need
We
to
getting
shoot
up for
down
sure.
y'all need to shoot down my mom's.
You said
Hey
that when you
yo,
said that last. You said matter of fact, you said that when I first, it's crazy. I like Works too, because now me and you close. But when I first brought you on the show, when I first met you, you said that. But
I'm
go ahead.
telling you,
You said
listen,
something
dog.
about going to your
Marshall
mom.
will tell you, dog. Marshall, listen, look, Marshall's been with me so many times, right? That I'm almost willing to bet he can tell you everywhere that I've ever taken him, right?
Uh
Between
huh.
my mom's property and other properties I've taken him. And
Hmm.
and, and, and he know I guarantee you he will never get lost. He would be able to find all those spots. And listen, every spot he would take you to, he would tell you, we've been on game here. We've been on game here. We've been on game here. We've been on game here.
You ain't lying, because I'm gonna tell you right now, everyone, 90% of the people I talk to in the Patterdale world who got Patterdales, the Patterdale family, or just in the Patterdale world in general, I would say like 90% of them know Marshall. 70% of them been out hunting with Marshall.
Hey, dog, listen, okay,
But
there's a lot of guys.
Marshall's one of my when it comes to the Patterdale, Marshall's kind of like my what they call that, the person who taught you a lot. Yeah, I'm forgetting a
He's
lot.
a mentor.
Yeah, yeah. Marshall's definitely one of my like the first two people, the first person that I learned a lot as far as the earthwork and really doing it, get into it, was my cousin Keith.
Hmm.
And then um Marshall and Marshall taught me a lot, and that's why me and him think. And then Biggs. But like I always say, so those are probably like the ones that, like, where I kind of like, obviously Keith, that's my cousin. Me and his son are like, they brothers. They sleep, either his son's at my house on the weekend or my son's over his house every weekend.
Right,
Like every
right,
week. Like literally
right.
every weekend. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's how we roll. So me and Keith are always together. But yeah, Marshall was definitely the next one who just brought me into it. And then obviously Biggs, because Biggs is the one who brought me kind of like, into his home and brought me to New York, and where I
And
could
hunt.
really get busy as far as the dig. But as
Right.
far as like mentors, those are like, the main three. But you remember I put out that post where, because of this Wednesday night live Patterdale talk, I've learned from like 40 different Patterdale people, even you. Like the first time I interviewed you, it wasn't like how we are now. You know what I mean? It was an interview. You
Interview.
know what I
Right.
mean? In
Yeah.
every interview, I've learned from each person. So it's like
Absolutely.
the average dog man, you're in the backyard and you in with one person and you learn everything from that person. Where me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a lot. I need to. I'm reading up on it for 2, 3,
Bro,
4 years. I'm learning
you're
everything.
learning from the world.
Exact. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do the live. So where the Patterdale, and one thing I noticed too is that there wasn't really too much movement going on in the Patterdale world, as far as like
It's an
just the
underground
Patterdale world
circuit.
being together. It was like people had dogs, people went hunting, you register your dog, and then that was pretty. And then you might hit up an event, and that was pretty much it. There wasn't
It's
really like
pretty.
a Patterdale family.
It's like an underground circuit, bro.
Exactly. It was, and I'm not trying to. And what I'm gonna say,
It's not a
really,
dark circle. It's
I'm
not a
not.
dark world. It's just.
It's
It's
just
it's
underground. It's
it's
just not
okay.
known. And I'm not
Right.
even trying to bring it. I'm not even trying to bring a whole bunch of light on it, because when you bring a whole bunch of light on something, it gets
It
saturated.
changes. It
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 gets
changes.
saturated. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not even
Yes.
trying to bring a whole bunch of light on it. I
You're
just said
just trying to make a community of to bring a
exact.
community that's there
It's a
together.
hunting. There's no reason why there's not a community of hunters when it's hunting. When there is, when it comes to other hunting dogs,
Oh, absolutely.
the
Oklahoma.
coonhound
So
community is crazy.
absolutely, like the
You know what I
Oklahoma
mean?
Dog Hunting
The Jack
Association.
Russell, their community is crazy.
Yeah, hell, you
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 know,
know how much money them old ladies spend on them dogs?
by put, and I'm not even talking about the money part. It's really just
No,
us
no, I'm saying as like when I say the money, the events that they
eh,
put together,
that they put
like
into
those
it.
events are
So,
just
you
don't
know the
just aren't put
family
together.
strong. You know the family strong, or the bully family, or the Frenchie family, the Frenchie world. But and I'm not trying to do all the show stuff. We hunt over here. We earth work.
Right.
We use them what they were bred for. That's what we do over here. That's the first priority over here. But you know,
Not color,
that's what it
not
came from.
color,
Is that
not color, right? We had the working, functioning dogs, not
yeah,
color of dogs.
color? Yeah, we don't care. We don't care if they're blue.
No,
Long as they do what they're supposed to do. We
I
don't
just
care if
seen
they're blue.
I had seen a post, man, and it was just I think we had spoke on it, and I was like, man,
I'm
them
not
dudes
mad
cool.
at that though, because even me, I like every dog, even Patterdales. Me personally, I like the brown color a little better than the black. That's just me. But if there could be 20 brown dogs lined up. If there's one black that works better, I'm taking the black.
I don't care what color they are.
Yeah,
They gotta
but
have a
I
fucking
mean,
working
I
style.
don't
I don't
really like I
listen.
just said.
That motherfucker
I
get
don't really care the color, because if there's 20 brown dogs lined up that is good, and there's one black that's better,
taking the
I'm gonna
working
take the
dog.
black.
Right.
But I just for some reason I like the color brown. You know what I
You,
mean? That's just
it's so here's what I like. Okay, when I was hunting with guys, they were like,
I don't even know
they're
why. That's just how my mind works. I like the color brown. You know what I mean?
here. Okay, so here's why I like. Here's why I like the brown, and I have a chocolate bitch. You know what I mean? Her name's Ginger. You know what I mean? She's the only chocolate dog I've ever owned. All the
Okay,
other dogs I've ever owned was brown
and I
and
know you love ginger
with
for sure.
with black masks. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So those dogs with the black mask kind of like they're distinctive to a certain region
right,
and a
right.
certain group of guys that work that style of dog, right? Um, so a lot of people know where they come from. A lot of people know the reputation of the bloodline to be really strong and produce a lot of workers, right? But to me, when I look at them and the ones I've had, they kind of look, they remind me of all my old bulldogs. You know what I mean? Buckskin, black mask, brown, black mask. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, um, but it's just a reminder, like just something in my mind. You know what I mean? I do like the some guys say, oh, they're fell terriers because they're not black. That's fine, whatever you want to call them. They're terriers, and I like them. So, but I've got mostly. I mean, I've had a lot of black Patterdales. You know what I mean? And I don't think a color necessarily makes them better or worse. I don't know. Um, but I'll tell you one thing: a lot of people do like to ask about if people have certain colored pups. And when you ask me first, if that's the first thing someone asks me, right? I kind of just be like I don't care what you want after that. Go somewhere else. Like I ain't selling you no pup. I ain't giving you a pup. Like
Yeah.
I don't care what color it is. It could be the best dog or the worst dog. Like I don't know, not because of the color, but I don't know.
I'm not mad at it just because again, if I could get if say if I like a color, if I could get the dog, if I could get a nice working dog, the color I just happen to like, then
That's different. That's
why
different.
you know what I'm saying? But
That's
I'm
different. That's different. You were looking for a working dog, and that was a color that was available at that time. You just grab. You said, okay, I'll take that one. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Or
yeah, yeah.
you know, it's not. Hey, look, I'm looking for a Patterdale, and
True,
you
true,
know, I'm looking for a color. You know what I mean?
true.
That right there makes me think. Okay, like yeah, you may have a Patterdale,
You're
but
looking for looks.
you're looking for a certain color and a certain style of dog because you're just trying to breed. You can say whatever to me after that. I don't believe you, but that's neither here nor there because,
No,
um, you
that's
know,
a that's great. That's a great point, bro. Because you're right. Even me, sometimes I'll ask people, "Oh, do you plan on working a dog?" And they'll say, "Yeah." But you're right. Normally, when people are worried about if people worried about a color, they even if they do plan on breeding at some point.
they
If
don't
they're
care
worried about a
anything about
color,
any type of function.
yeah. If they're worried about a
That's
color, and they do plan on breeding at some point.
yeah, and I mean that's cool, but you know, okay, I've had for some reason. and I don't know why, but I've had a lot of inquiries on if I sell pups or do I have any pups available. One, I really don't breed like that. I'm not a breeder. I'm not very responsible when I do breed because I like my damn dog dug out and I didn't know if she was gonna have puppies or not. You know what I mean? So um that was irresponsible of me because I didn't, you know what I mean, I didn't make sure. Well, I knew her kennel was secure, but for some reason she dug out. What reason I don't know. But anyway, like when I do breed, it's because one, either I'm lacking dogs and I'm down to like damn near nothing I can work and I need to restock. Or a couple of my friends have said, hey man, like yo, I need some dogs because either I'm out or you know what I mean, I want to get into this and I want to it's that and you know what I'm saying.
Yep,
And
yep.
I'm not putting no pups out there. Like I have had a couple one litter that I did open up one time and was like, okay, I can't keep any of them, right? So I was like, I'm gonna do this one time and one time only and see what kind of results I get. And I was like, look, I got 3 male pups available. Like, there's no deposits, there's none of that shit. First come, first serve. This is where I'm at. And man, 2 guys from the door, like I could just tell they were good people. We've actually become good friends, you know what I mean? Really good friends.
Yep.
Um, and it's like I could tell from the door that they were dead serious when they came to look at the pups and they asked me if I needed to put deposits on it, right? And I say, nah, I know y'all are serious. Y'all drove all the way down here just to see the pups. Like, nah, I believe y'all come back for them. Well, I think they were kind of nervous about me getting rid of them because I didn't have them put deposits on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like people putting deposits on shit because I don't know what might happen to that pup, right? And then I feel like shit having to say, hey man, I'm gonna have to send your money back. Like I just think when people do shit like that, my mind works like, there's something behind that. That motherfucker ended up liking that dog and he didn't want to sell it and ain't saying that. Or one of his friends liked it and they gave it to him. You understand what I'm
Or
saying?
something yeah,
Like,
I've been in a position where I was
I,
waiting for a dog, and I felt like,
yeah.
and the dude hit
So
me up like, "Oh, this that third happened." I was like, "Nah,
and
you probably
so
overbooked."
yeah, so now, so yeah, see, yeah, shit like that. And my mind works so different, dog. I instantly call bullshit and then I'm just like, fuck that person. I'm like, you know what I mean? Which so I've learned to myself, hey man, look, check this out. I like what I got. I'll breed what I got.
Yep.
If I got a friend that needs a dog and I know that they don't have dogs from other people, right? And I just think they're trying to get something from me to cross it or whatever the case might be. And they're just trying to use my friendship. I ain't giving them fucking nothing. And more than likely, I'm getting rid of that person out of my life. But if I really know that you're going to take that dog and respect it and work it and give me a true evaluation, man, you ain't never got to pay no dog for me. You can get a dog for free. You know what I mean? They're dogs. Like, I'm not rich. I didn't go pay a bunch of money for these fucking dogs. Like, yo, be honest with you, I think the only dogs I've ever even bought was my first two.
Yeah.
No,
First dog
that's
I
a
ever
lie.
bought.
That's a lie. That's a lie. One of my best dogs I did pay for, right? But it was a super deal. Let me tell you this. I went on a hunt, right? And this little dog I fell in love with him, right? And it was Booger. And the dude was like, hey Ears, man, we're good friends, right? I said, yeah. He said, I'll give you 10 bags of dog food and that puppy for $150. I said, dude, what? I said,
ten
you got
pounds of
to
shit.
I said, I
Five
said,
pounds of dog food was worth that. Never mind the other five in the dog.
I'm talking about 10 bags of dog food. Like this month, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Five
yeah.
bags of the dog food was
So
worth
this is
150.
that's how I got on Merrick dog food. I was like, I said, because I was like, yo, this is good dog food. He was like, yeah, but you're my boy. He was like, and I know you want that dog. And Robbie looked over at me like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, this is a deal and a half. Jesus Christ. I was like, I can't beat this. Hell yeah, I'll take that dog. Here, give me my dog food too. I was like, shit, I packed that right in my. I was so psyched. And then he ended up being a fucking nutcase, and I lost him on the dairy, man. That was a
Oh
hard
man.
loss. And I was like, motherfucker. But you know what's crazy? Just that whole weekend, it was
Yeah.
crazy because everything was falling in the line. And I was like, man, I was like, yo, I can't believe that deal just came through, right? And then um just recently me and that guy was talking and he was like, man, he was like, yo, that dog, man, he was like, he was a bad motherfucker. I said, yeah, he was. His dad was. Well, everything that came off them guys were badass. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'm just shit. Everything that comes from them guys, like the whole group, is badass. You know what I mean? I've never seen no junk. You know, and
Come on.
I've seen some of that line harder than others, but when and even saying that, it's not that the dogs aren't hard. They're just not as hard as those other ones. Like they're just, you know what I mean? And they hunt so different. It's fun. It's fun traveling, man, meeting different people and seeing different dogs. Um, I actually like when I go places, there's sometimes, man, I watch your dog more than I watch my dog. Like, you know what I mean? I just want cause I enjoy seeing the other style of dogs, you know what I mean? Um, cause just recently I had somebody ask me, they were like, yo, um, are you upset or would you get upset if we brought some bay dogs down there, right? And I said, well, I mean, what would you bring them for? Just I did. Well, I guess I kind of was just like the way I said it too. I was like, well, what'd you bring them for? So they were like, well, that's just the style of dogs we like. And I was like, so uh, what do you want to work? So they were like, we want to work them dairies with you. I was like, that's not gonna work. A bay dog ain't gonna work there. um, you need a mixer or a hard dog. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
you really need a smart mixer because if I've lost hard dogs down in those straw bales because they get down in there and they'll get into a den of them and they'll just head first into a den of fucking coon and then they just swarm them down in there. And then you end up losing them. They'll chew them up. So I tell them, I said, well, a bay dog, man, you gotta be careful out in them dairies at nighttime with a bay dog, right? Because with
Uh,
them yapping like that, them fucking coyotes will come in, man, and they'll like sneak up on you, like,
yeah.
hey
Coyote
yo,
sneaky as shit.
and snatch a dog the fuck up and take off with it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like I've had them come in on me. I've never had a dog snatched up like and taken off, like one taken off with them, but I've had them stupid motherfuckers, the coyotes to come in close enough to whereas though you got one dog and the other dog's trying to run around and trying to figure out a way to get into the coon in the action, and it'll realize that there's a coyote there, and it'll take off into that coyote. You know what I mean? And there's been some tricky situations there, man. Like,
I
yeah.
bet. I
Yeah,
bet.
one time I found one male. He took off. Me and Mike had to go track him down, and I had to track him down. I found him. Luckily, God bless, man. He fought him off, and they only got his back leg real good. And the only way I found him was with the locator, and I was walking, and it pinged. So I was like, okay, he's within 70 feet. Like, I'm like, where the fuck are you? And what he had done was he had backed up inside of a tree that had a small cavity in the bottom of it, and he backed up in that motherfucker and he had fought him off, but his back leg was chewed flat, like his paw. And
Damn.
Mike had to have it amputated because it was completely chewed flat, like somebody took a hammer and just kept banging it on the ground. And I was like, what the fuck? It was like it must have got a hold of him and just sat there and chewed his fucking paw until
Damn.
like before it was flat. And yeah, it was pretty fucking bad. I was like, man, how you fix something like that? That's completely chewed like mush. So they were like, you
That
can just amputate it. That's all you're going to have to do. So
they
they amputated his
looking
leg.
like roadkill.
That's exactly what it looked like. Like somebody put it through a meat shredder.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't, man, it was kind of bad. I was like, it was one of the worst times. That was one of the worst things I've seen. And I've seen some crazy shit. But that was pretty bad. I was like, wow, how do we fix that? Like, I'm at a loss trying to fix that. Like, shoot that motherfucker up with some PNG and take his ass to the vet. Like,
Ain't
fuck.
no way.
Cut that off. And I don't have the right tools to do that. You know, like I've done some crazy shit. I put dogs' faces back on with dental floss.
Hey, but
Oh,
bro, hey, we've been on there for
hell
2
yeah.
hours,
Yes, sir,
19
bro.
minutes, 2 hours, 20 minutes. You know, I appreciate you locking with me all the time.
Hell yeah,
I
bro.
know you'll
Thank you for
probably
having me,
lock in
man.
with me next week too.
Yeah, whenever you need me, dog, I'll host with you, man.
Yeah,
I'll talk shit with you. I'll bust it up. Shit.
why not? Why not? Hey, appreciate everyone for coming through. Again, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's nothing. It's free to do that. All it is a click, couple clicks. You know what I mean? Or just telling your friend when y'all are talking, having lunch, just let them know about Live Your Life Dogs channel. And we talk about Patterdale Terriers every Wednesday. You know what I mean? And we always,
Mhm.
our main goal is to keep the hunting aspect alive. And again, bro, I appreciate you locking in with me. Appreciate everyone for coming in, showing love. Hope y'all hit the like button. And again, Patterdale Talk Wednesdays live with Patterdale Woods, and now with the bro Tim too. And you know how we do. Peace. Till next
Peace.
time.
Have a good week.